What's up, y'all? Kofi Kingston here, and I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks, depending on what that drink is, preferably non-alcoholic, you know?
How's it going? Tell me who are you, James?
Soda.
I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Maple syrup.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Welcome to the dive bar of the IWC. Welcome to Wrestling on the Rocks, episode 1. Again. I'm Marv. I'm bringing Amanda on. Hey, yeah. WOTR the show at Ref Marsh, at Miss Amanda Jane with a Y. We back live. You can actually get in the chat and derail the show. That is an option. The opportunity of a lifetime for some.
I know. Big deal.
But you're back. You got your sea legs back under you?
No. Oh. It's still moving. Like when I stand still sometimes, it's still moving. But
that's why I drink.
It's not. I can't complain. I cannot complain. Now, Marv, I'm liking Marv, welcoming everybody. I'm kind of liking this.
Yeah, I like him to intro the show. I keep waiting because I have some ideas with him. But we were obviously last week was weird with our scheduling and all that. So it's just put a freeze on the Marv gimmick. And the production of Marv. There will be changes made to Marv. He's getting a wardrobe. I believe I'm thinking about dyeing his mustache a different color so it pops a little more. We got a lot of good things in store for Marv, so people got to look out for that.
I
bought some Procreate brushes so I could try to draw an animated Marv, and I'm doing terrible. It looks awful.
Oh no.
So you got to keep trying.
The fur?
Yeah, it's a fur brush.
Okay.
And these versions of people using the brush that are coming out so good, and I was like, yeah, it's like that. And then as I do it, it's not like that at all. So I gotta keep trying. Practice. No. I bought the brush. I gotta make it work now.
Yeah.
I want to throw them into the intro somehow. You know what I mean?
Well, that and a Marv sticker would be great.
Yeah, if I have a good animated Marv, then we got Marv sticker.
Yeah, we got Marv stickers,
Maybe I should just do a photo shoot with Marv and just put him in there. Just like a photo of him coming up from the sides and stuff.
Maybe. Maybe.
God.
Lots to do with Marv. But I also think what would be kind of cool is Marv going to go make an appearance at WrestleCon?
There's no reason for him not to be there, realistically.
Yeah, I think he should be there.
Yeah. Medusa likes Marv. She's had Marv on her show before.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
Well, Jesus Christ. And let me tell you, Medusa was on the third cruise. How did I forget she was on the third cruise? Because she had a whole panel with her and Jazz about women's wrestling. But she should go. She should bring you.
I wonder if
and bring Marv.
I wonder if she wasn't able to because of a lot of her appearances and stuff. She had a lot going on this month, and she also just got back from the NWA tapings. So I wonder if there was a conflict between that and some of her meet and greets and stuff with the book coming out and all that.
Well, there's always 5 Alive. The pre-sale's on ready. And if you guys are interested, you just put Ms. Amanda Jane as in my referral code, you get $100 off. And every time you win, we win. Because why? I get an onboard credit and it will go toward my drinking.
Ooh.
I didn't drink as much this time.
Yeah,
now,
but next time
this
you
is
could drink
why
a
I
lot.
want. Well, see, this is why I want you to go with producer lady, right? If or your brother or whoever, right? Because my plan to cheat the system, because I already have my cabin. I'm booked. I'm one of the 400. I get a photo with Jericho. I haven't seen my photo with Jericho yet for this time. But you can come, bring Marv. We'll take a photo with Jericho. You can sneak in my thing. I don't care.
Yeah.
I care. But I'm just saying, Marv can come. Marv can maybe, take photos with people. Get some more wrestling on the rocks, like kind of little whatever, we might have a new listener or two. Shout out to if you were from the boat.
Oh yeah, shout out to the boat. Yes, the boat episode did some pretty good numbers in comparison to some of the other ones. So it's possible some people were checking it out. Like,
oh yes, I do know.
It also unfortunately had a bigger boost in the audio one than I anticipated. So which was fine, but there is a lot of visual in that because in between, I don't know if you got to check it out how it was laid out. In between the Zoom calls from the boat, like I do an intro, we go to the boat, and then I put together like a slideshow of all your photos and the videos that you took while on the boat before cutting back to you're back in studio, So there's visuals. There's literally like music playing while photos are going through that you can't see otherwise. Man, I mean, how funny was that too? You legit interviewed Cheetah for a podcast and she just said, okay.
I didn't even I wasn't even in an interview. We were drunk. We were drinking together. We were in a bar crawl at the end. And I was like, that's my girl right here. I mean,
well, that's what it was though. But I mean, because realistically, because you said that and I thought that like you just like bumped into her and like said a thing, but you legitimately like said, this is for my podcast. And she went, oh, okay. And then you talked about her gear and then you asked her a question and then she was just like, yeah, and just answering it. And it's like, that she could have easily said, oh, I not really for a podcast. Sorry. You know what I mean? But she was just like, fucking whatever.
Yeah. She love her. She is amazing. I think that Tony Khan's booking does not do her justice. I'm a huge fan because what I saw her and Willow Nightingale had probably, I'd say, one of the top 3 matches of that whole time. Period.
Yeah.
Still number 1 in my heart. Black Machismo versus Moose Zeus.
Yes.
That was the best. I have someone who has the full match. I will get that to you so you can watch it. Maybe we'll do a watch along.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was great. I mean, it was great. And I know March, you don't dig the comedy, but that to see Moose in another element and how fantastic Lethal really has that persona and that character down, fucking amazing.
Well, it also kind of makes sense on the boat because they're not televising the boat stuff anymore. Remember the first time they did a Nitro from it, or not Nitro, a Dynamite from it?
No. They did Ring of Honor did the Sea of Honor tournament, and they taped it.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah,
then
that was
I
the
think
first one because then
the first one. And
that's
the
where the
second
elite
one,
became, and then the second one they did a Dynamite, and then since then
Mhm.
there's like we're not fucking doing the boat thing,
No.
dude. This sucks.
no, because you know what it was
It's
I think
tough.
that no, because you got to pay commentary to come on, and I don't think those guys want to come on the boat. You think Excalibur wants to or JR has been on a cruise, okay?
Yeah, but it's
He was
also
on the
just really
first
tough because the
Mhm.
boat's rocking. If there's a storm and you have to cancel, then you're fucked. And when they did
Mhm.
the Dynamite there
That
was a certain
happened.
point that got like super windy and stuff was getting messed up, and there's like this
That
is just
happened.
you
Mhm.
can't do it,
You
So
can't
it
do
makes
it, and
sense. But
some people,
I don't
yeah,
really want to go too much into the cruise
but
anymore though, because we spent a whole
but
episode on it.
but
But
yo,
use that
you
promo
guys
code.
should go. I
Yes.
think it's fun because if there's enough of our crazy ass listeners who go, maybe somehow we can sneak attack a podcast somewhere and
Yeah.
record it live. I will totally do it, because
Yeah,
it's impromptu. You
I'll
can go
bring
a lot of places.
I'll bring a GoPro and a mic, and we can fucking
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
blitzkrieg that whole place.
Dude, I just did it on my iPhone. I mean, look at what I did
True.
with Sheeta. If I had another person with me, because my friend kept running away. If I had another
Yeah.
person with me, I could have done so much guerrilla bullshit. It would have been hilarious. Like if I had my friend had been there with me and Eddie with the fucking pineapple and he was like dying, just the laughter.
Just a
You
clip
see
of him laughing at you. That would have been
Yeah,
great.
that would have been awesome. And then like me and when I was with Jungle Boy, I'm like, Jack, look,
Yeah.
Jungle Fruit, Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
And then we were just
I'm going to
laughing.
reiterate, I don't want to talk about the boat though.
No more boat. No more boat. But the last thing from the boat I would like to say, because I'm going to move out of my way, and this is going to segue into birthdays. So I must wish a certain person who I'm cosplaying.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Yep, nailed it. Oh, he thought it was hilarious. I wish again someone could film that. He was like, he just could not believe it. And he was like, only you. Yeah.
That's funny.
And it would have been great about the conversation about the shoes. That would have been hilarious. But anyways.
All right. Before we get into birthdays, what are you drinking? What's in your glass?
I'm drinking because I'm still filling the boat. Mm-hmm. So I have regular old iced tea and a regular old Coke Classic because, that's what I do.
All right. I'm having 0 sugar ginger beer with some vodka.
Nice.
0 sugar vodka as well. Little JR Mule, if you will. So yeah, if anybody wants to go on the cruise, use the promo code Miss Amanda Jane. Now is the time to do it. You get a significant bump off. Is it 100, 150 off or something like that?
It's 100. But
it's like 100 off. Yeah, it's pretty significant. So we're doing it.
If you do it now and you register for the pre-sale, you will get if you're one of the first 400, you'll get a photo with Jericho, a special Q&A session with Jericho, along with an exclusive micro brawler. And they are doing, which has been very trendy, those trading card decks. So they're going to have one next year. Yeah. It's going to be the first one with all the people who will be on the boat.
On the boat. That'll be cool. That's cool. That's worth it. Check it out, guys. Get the money off. I'm trying to think, was there anything else that we wanted to do before birthdays? I don't think so. Let's just get into it.
Oh, well,
do birthdays and then we'll do news.
Yeah, birthdays. We did miss a couple. Like Tommy Dreamer, happy birthday. We also missed Billy Starks had a birthday. Happy birthday to you, Billy Starks. Let's see here. Hold on a second. I accidentally got off the topic. So yeah, Ricky Starks is 32. Wait. No, he's 33. God, you're getting old, Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Anyway. Other birthdays. You know what? This is episode 1. I fucked up the birthdays. I'm not gonna lie. I fucked it up. But I will say we also need to wish people because I missed Rich Swan. Happy birthday. He had a birthday a couple days ago.
That's cool.
Today, Gangrel. Happy birthday.
Oh wow, Gangrel. He's a badass.
And they actually had 3 gentlemen who cosplayed as Gangrel. And it was a fangin' and bangin' meetup that they had. It was kind of cool. I will say that. I wish I caught pictures of it. Marsh's favorite wrestler of all time, Sean Spears, is having a birthday.
Oh my god.
Gail Kim, happy birthday. Probably
Mhm.
one of like my favorite ever knockouts. Actually, yeah, she's probably, I'll say she's one of my favorite.
Yeah, she's top.
Mhm. Uh Carlito, happy birthday, dude. And pretty much that's all.
That's
That's
it.
all.
That's
Not
them.
very many. Next week there's going to be a lot of really good ones, but this week really the big superstar is
The old Ricky
the absolute
Starks.
one. Yep.
Absolute birthday coming up.
And he is a friend of the show. Hmm.
And we got Medusa last time, right? Because her birthday was just
We did. We
yeah.
did. Actually, wait, no, because I was on the boat and we did
Yeah.
not do birthdays when we did our recap. So
Yeah, her
Medusa
birthday was
had
like
her
last
birthday.
week. Yeah.
Mhm.
So happy birthday to Medusa too. So
Birthday, Medusa. And then rest in peace, Jim Neidhart. He had his birthday, as
mm,
well as Paul White had his birthday too.
yeah.
And then
Yep.
my personal favorite of the rockers, Marty Jannetty.
Mm,
Cheers, buddy.
yeah.
Mhm.
As we get into the news, I do want to start with something. The bummer one was Jerry Jarrett passed away, man.
Yeah.
That one kind of hit me a little bit because I was lucky enough to meet him at the Cauliflower Alley Club this past year.
Oh,
And it was really funny because he missed Memphis night. And it was great
oh,
because Lawler is up there telling a speech and saying something about Jerry and kind of looking for him. And Jeff's sitting there and he's kind of looking around and he's on his phone and stuff. And he starts trying to call. And at one point, Jeff goes over there and tells him, he goes, in absolute perfect Jerry Jarrett fashion, he's asleep upstairs. He thought Memphis night was tomorrow night. He missed his own award.
oh no! Oh boy! Oh, God.
So funny, and everyone was just dying. Everyone just went like, "Yep, that's Jerry. That's as Jerry as it gets." And the next night, he was obviously there and got to say a few words here and there, and it was really cool. And the next day, he did a panel thing with Jerry Lawler, Jimmy Hart, and their I believe it was their nephew. I forget his name, but he wrote the book on Teenie Jarrett, Christine Jarrett. Like literally wrote a book about her, not like he wrote the book on. He like wrote a biography about her. And they were just talking Memphis stories. They couldn't get Downtown Bruno out there, but they did record an interview with him to play where he got to tell some stories too. And it was really cool to see how sharp he was, how much he remembered, the stories that both Jerry's and Jimmy were all telling. It was really cool. When I saw him in the room, I think they call it the nostalgia room, is where everyone sets up their tables. He was sitting at his nephew's table. He was sitting at Jerry Lawler's table. He was just kind of wandering around sometimes. Like, he didn't really think much about like the table concept. And he didn't ask for a penny from anyone. I saw people walking up asking for autographs, asking for photos. I asked him for a photo, and he at no point was all like, "Hey, it's this much or that," like some people were doing. He just was doing it, and he thought it was cool that people wanted it. I did get to tell him because I remember saying, I sent a text to producer lady, and I was like, "I don't know if I want to be that guy, but I kind of want to grab a picture with Jerry Jarrett." And I was like, I kind of just don't know if I'll ever be in the same room as him again. Like, he doesn't do a ton of appearances. He doesn't do conventions. The only reason he's out here is they're celebrating Memphis. He might not come back. And he's almost 80. Like, I don't know how many years he'll be doing this, right? And she's like, well, you just better go do it. And so I did. I went over to him and I asked him for a photo, and he took a selfie with me. It was great. And I just told him, because I felt like, got to make it matter, right? I said, I just wanted to thank you because when I think about wrestling and all the things that I love about wrestling and all of my favorite things, almost all of it can be traced back to your family, specifically between you, your son. Teenie was his mom, right? Yeah. And your mom, I was like, it almost all goes through you. And I was like, and I just wanted to thank you for doing that. And he said it was really nice and he appreciated it and all that. And I kind of let him be. But He was really nice to everybody, gracious, sharp. So I was kind of taken aback because I thought that he might be there this year because him and a few people who were there it was their first year out there, and they said that they were gonna probably come back. And it didn't occur to me till I got home for my birthday last year. Producer lady got me 2 Memphis programs, original programs, that were during the Andy Kaufman story. So when you flip through it, there's
wow.
paragraphs and photos of Andy Kaufman. The first one's like before this, like at the beginning, where it's like, oh, look at comedian Andy Kaufman was backstage powwowing with Lawler. And then the other one's like in the heat of it, we're like, this son of a bitch. You know what I mean? It's like,
How
and
fun.
yeah, so cool. And I thought about it when I got home. Like, I didn't even think about it before I went. But when I got home, I was like, oh, that would have been cool to get Jerry to sign because he was the booker.
Mhm.
And I thought, well, you know what? If he's there next year, maybe I'll bring it. But that's just not going to be the case. So rest in peace to Jerry. I don't know. Did you ever get a chance to see him? He wasn't at too many things.
No, I'd never seen him. And I had looked back and thought about it. Like, was he at one? He might have been at one of the WrestleCons I went to. And I want to say, like, maybe it was Dallas.
Maybe.
The infamous
I know
Dallas.
he went to like one Starcast, like one of them, but like, that was
Well, I
it.
never went to any of the Cash Cast. I mean, Starcast, sorry.
I thought you were at the one in Vegas.
No, I was very anti that.
Oh, wait, I remember who I was hanging out with there. Yeah, that wasn't you.
No, it was not me. I was very anti that because of the all-in experience. Yeah.
Just in Time coming through saying cheers. Cheers to Just in Time.
Cheers.
I don't know if you had the Zero Sugar Pitch Black while you watched Rumble, Justin, but if you didn't, you messed up and you better go get some. Or I don't know if you do the Zero Sugar. I did Zero Sugar. You don't have to do Zero Sugar, but the Pitch Black is good.
Everyone likes the I'm not a Dr. Pepper person, but I only hear good things about that strawberry and cream one.
I had it. It's all right.
Okay.
It still tastes a lot like Dr. Pepper, but the aftertaste is like strawberries and cream, which is pretty neat.
Interesting. I hate Dr. Pepper.
See, I mean, but that's just it. All the Dr. Pepper flavors still taste a lot like Dr. Pepper. So it's like, if you don't like Dr. Pepper, you're not going to like any of these, realistically.
Okay. Well, okay. Good to know.
But yeah, I wanted to Tears in Our Beers, a little cheers for Jerry Lawler, or not Jerry Lawler, Jerry Jarrett. I mean, and this was also just like, what, a week after Jerry Lawler had his scare in the hospital. So,
yeah,
you know, yeah, I'm lucky to have met him. And yeah, thoughts are with his family, you know.
And speaking of people who had like health scares quasi recently, I thought Hacksaw Jim Duggan looked really good.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, he looked amazing. Yeah. Because I know he had a rough go. But
what was the other news that you had?
Well, lots of interesting things around AEW, you know. It's interesting how a lot of people where I don't know where this came from, but why does everyone think that Phil's coming back?
Oh, that's funny. So what they're saying is that when he left, it was also the same time he got injured. He had an injury that, like, even if he were to have not melted down, he still wouldn't have been around much because he was injured. They would have had to do something. And so it was like, look, he's going to be gone for 8 months anyways. Well, come April, it's going to be that 8 months. And so people are like, actually, we're getting pretty close to the time frame in which he'll be healthy enough to return. Should he, will he, won't he, kind of a deal. I think it's hysterical because I'm seeing very few people be like, oh, this is great, he can come back. I've seen a ton of people say, who cares?
I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong shit because people think it's the most amazing thing since sliced bread that he's coming back. And
he's not coming back.
I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, I saw on Valentine's Day, there was a picture of him and his old lady in the rain walking. I wanted to go, I hope you get pneumonia and die. I wanted to say that so bad, but I did not. I did not.
Like that.
People don't like that. But you know what? Honestly, your friend bit another man. Okay. So, I mean, you're pretty low on the scale of the food chain. So, you know, I mean, yeah. But I don't know. I think it's funny. And, you know, fast forward to the other news I saw is I am so glad to see that Thunder Rosa is going to be back on AEW TV in some form. Yes, it's the Spanish announce table, but shit, they've got actually Dasha and Serpentico have been doing some good shit over there from what
Are they?
people have told me. So this is only exciting to me. But what I find very, very funny is apparently it's going around that they had a meeting with all of the talent. Seriously.
About
What the fuck? About I don't know what they haven't said, but it's basically she's coming back because obviously there were issues. Well, if you believe the rumors, I mean, Britt Baker wasn't in her fan club, and all Britt Baker's friends weren't in her fan club. But I mean, honestly, it's like, obviously, it's more of if you've got problems with people, maybe y'all should be adult, and Tony should also try to be an adult, and you get some kind of mediator, and you need to squash that shit because everyone, when they first came around, was like, oh my God, this locker room is great. Everyone loves everybody. Kumbaya. Well, obviously not. So, that's where I'm like, oh, yeah. But I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see. I kind of am hoping when she does come back, because I kind of am really liking what they're doing with Saraya and Tony Storm.
Really? You're like the only person.
Really?
We'll talk about it later. Yeah. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. We'll talk about it when we get there because I clicked on Saraya because she was trending today. And when I was reading it, I was like, oh my God, like I was not expecting that. So,
okay. Yeah. But anyways, I just thought that was really kind of interesting that, okay, is this the new trend now? Is we need to get everybody's like approval and, or whatever.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe it's a Survivor thing. Vote in, vote out. Like, I could see that. I'll tell you this much. Anyone who thinks that their locker room is super perfect, like you don't make people sign NDAs to not talk about stuff if you know that they're going to be saying positive things about stuff. There's a lot of NDAs in that company and a lot of NDAs when they get released, and that's to protect the company from word getting out. Like it's not to protect the talent. You know what I mean? Like you don't sign NDAs because everything's great back there and they're just going to tell that. I'm
waiting for the day that Joey Janela can open his fucking mouth. I'm waiting for it.
I think that'd be great.
I would say, you know what, y'all, let's get a collection together. And because, he don't want to do somebody's shitty little podcast for free. I'd be bro, here's a bunch of fucking money.
Oh, yeah.
Spill the beans.
Yeah, we pay for some beans.
Yeah, I know.
Justin does say, please God, no more Punk. After Brawl Out, that should have been the end. AEW would be crazy to bring him back. I agree. I think there's no upside to him.
No. No.
I even like the stuff that Seth said about him. That was so fucking funny.
That was the best. Oh my God. That was just amazing. And I'm like, bro. And then I kind of liked Cody's political stance about it, which it was very interesting to me.
Well,
I think that, I don't know. It was
I thought he was open about that somewhere, that him and Tony had an agreement. Yeah. Well, no, not that. Just when he left.
Oh.
No, I'm trying to finish a sentence. I quit guessing. Cody had said something in one of his initial interviews when he left that him and Tony had an agreement that they both wouldn't talk negatively about each other or the company or their decisions, that there was like a gentleman's agreement between them and they did a handshake deal of like, look, let's be supportive of each other in the future and whatever happened and it's just between us kind of a deal. And so he's maintaining that. He's maintaining his word, and he's alluded to that somewhere else too, where he's all like, that he wanted to be careful about how he said things because he doesn't want to say things. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. But it was also very cool that he was like, I don't want people to think that, I wish nothing but the best for them and things like that. And, and I thought that was great because it was like, you knew it wasn't bullshit. It was honest and, whatever, because
he's always going to be tied to the creation of AEW.
Yeah. You can't deny that.
If they're successful, long term, that's tied to his legacy. He got this thing going, you know. If it fails miserably, then that's also tied to him. Now it's tied to him differently now, to where if it fails, it was like, yep, once Cody left, it was all downhill. He was the glue. And like, I mean, in the sense that could make him sound good, right? But realistically, what do you want to, what would you rather sound good about? That you left and the company crumbled because it couldn't last without you, or that you started a thing that had longevity? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Phil thinks that, but you know, whatever.
Well, yeah,
Phil
that's true.
Phil's probably like a flat earther, or you know, milk first.
He's probably definitely confused how the WWE is still around. He's like, I didn't think they could last at all without me.
Oh yeah, I know. He's probably like, what the hell? Why haven't they called me back? Well, I think after your friend bit somebody, I think they were like, I don't think we want that around.
I think it was before that. I don't think that.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying that was like still the deal. But I will say this: WWE, I am still upset. It's halfway through Black History Month, and I don't have a Cody Rhodes special shirt going to the NAACP or whatever, Black Lives Matter or whatever.
Brandy's not in charge of their merch anymore.
I know, but you know, Cody, I come to expect this now from you.
He was just a vessel for Brandy's.
I know, but I expect his vessel to have a shirt. You know, I mean, come on now,
yeah,
seriously. Like, where's my AAPI one? Usos, where is that? Is that coming in May? I expect this shit. You know, I'm just saying.
Well, that's why I have the honorary Us shirt. Same thing.
Well, not really anymore.
It is now.
But, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Although that new Sammy Uso shirt is so good.
Yeah.
With the duct tape thing on it. So fucking good.
Speaking of shirts, Wendy Chews.
Oh. Yep. Chew Crew shirt. It's out there.
And it's in pink.
It's in pink.
Yes.
She's all chibi.
Yep. And shout out to people who thought I was doing Wendy Chew cosplay. Okay. Yes, I did bring my little mug to drink that looked like Wendy Chew's, but it was a dual purpose. But it was hotter than Hades.
Yeah.
I gotta think on that one next time.
Anyways. But I mean, it still doubles as a cosplay, so
it was great. Like, people did. I mean, yeah, granted, okay, I'm yellow and you know, but yeah, they didn't like my joke, the 6-man people, but whatever. I was like, can we get points because I'm a yellow person on the repping the yellow deck? They were like, oh, I go, I'm just saying, I'm only one of 5 people. Me, Sheeta, my friend Topher, and I think there were 2 other people. Yeah. Oh no, and Yuya, and then one other person. Yeah. So anyways.
I do think that it was cool about Thunder Rosa coming back, even if it's in a commentary role, but it just still feels kind of like a miss. But at the same time, she says it still has to do with her recovery. So I mean, I don't know how bad her back is, but I'm sure it's pretty bad.
But you know what? If you know, as people who love Thunder Rosa, she's worked so hard from like even before getting signed with AEW. I mean, for years she was on the grind, and she was on a real serious like tear. Like, even when she was doing Lucha Underground, and she was still hitting the indies hard. So I mean, those kinds of things, sometimes you feel like you're invincible because you could just start going and going and going, and then there's just one day where it's just like your body tells you can't do it anymore. You gotta, something's got to give, or you get that one injury that it's going to sideline you for a long time.
Yeah,
but I believe she'll be back. And when she's back, bitches better beware.
Yeah,
because there's going to be some great wrestling coming out.
I want to see her in WWE, if I'm honest.
I do too.
Justin does say Wendy's picture of her mom wearing her Chew Crew shirt was adorable. I didn't see that.
I know. I thought that was so cute.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah. Right here.
Did you have any other news?
No, that's the only other news that I have. But I did forget a birthday. Jimmy Jacobs. Happy birthday, dude.
Yeah, those are good sandwiches.
Yeah, that was a great tag team. Him and fucking Seth. Age of the Fallen. Was that their name? ROH. Yep.
Did you want to go NXT or AEW?
Let's go NXT.
Yeah.
Because NXT kind of, I don't know.
There's been a lot that's been going on. I would say this, episode to episode, a lot of it kind of feels like more of the same as we're going. But when I kind of step back and watch it a little bit more sporadically, you can see the story arcs happening a bit better. It's almost like you're
Yeah.
too close to it if you watch it all the time and closely.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like you have to step back and give it a minute. But
Yeah.
the breakup with Toxic Attraction, I thought was done really well. I thought it was
Jesus
cool.
Christ. That was amazing.
JC just kicked Gigi's face in. It's fucking crazy.
Oh my God. And her promo this week. Oh,
Yeah.
badass. Badass.
That made me think that there's a good possibility JC might be flat out better than Gigi when it comes to talking right now.
I think so.
You know, I was all like, oh shit, did JC just like leap over Gigi and her? Or did she fucking click in? Like, it was crazy.
Oh,
That's not to say I think Gigi's bad. I think Gigi's good. But all of a sudden it was all like, oh, wait.
Shit. Like, this was like, oh shit. Because I think what got me was, oh yeah, you guys thought all along I'm that third wheel. And then bam, and then bam. I mean, it was perfect. I mean, you couldn't have asked for anything better. The only thing I probably would say would have been better is if Mandy were there and she turned on both of them.
Or that if Mandy had a part in it one way or another, you know.
Yeah, I know, but you know, if she were there,
yeah,
that would have just been next level because she, you know, everything was on point, everything, and I think it's great. I would love to have that shirt. She needs to sell that shirt. Is she selling that shirt? Her kicking Gigi in the face. It was so cool.
Yeah,
her shirt she was wearing.
Yeah, that's fun.
I was like,
I also liked the Ding Dong Hello segment the week before. Like they did a good job with all that. Like,
yeah, they did.
Yeah, but what a cool way to utilize a Bailey. Like, did they need to do it that way? Could they done it on a Waller effect? Like, this was better.
It was better. They didn't know. Waller's got his own shit.
Oh yeah,
you know, yeah. But I think that it was done perfectly. That I'm like, I have no complaints.
Yeah. That whole story, I think, has been really fleshed out really well. The only problem I have with it realistically is that I think that the women's division in general needs more stable tag teams. If we're going to have tag team titles for the women, we need to have a tag team division for the women. And we can't recycle. You're not even really recycle. I mean, you're just mincing up the division every few months to put a couple people together just to get the one or two matches on the one or two shows you want, and then you're dropping those tags again. Like, we need tag teams that stay consistent and stay strong. And I know that part of the problem is that they just don't have a shitload of women signed. So it's not like with the men where you have 125 men and 20 tag teams. You know what I mean? It's like they have 8 women and 3 tag teams. Like, it makes it tough, right? I mean, I know those numbers are exaggerated in different ways, but
that's what it seems like. And it's almost like with the women that you do have together, it's like, what are you doing? Because honestly, with Katana and Kaden, that was kind of short.
That was a really short match. Crazy short.
Yeah. And I'm like, what the hell, you know? But I don't know. I just watch it. And I think even their title run too is really short. For as long as they've been together and established, that was
I felt that too. Who has the titles now?
Isn't it Fallon and what's her face?
Paxley.
Yeah.
And that didn't make sense at all because that was like their first time tagging together.
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't understand. Like,
Toxic Attraction started out as a glimmer of hope for the women's tag team division on what we could do. And they had a year-long story, so it's hard to say they broke up too soon or anything. But realistically, it was also like they showed that consistency was possible. You know what I mean? They showed how you could even do it. Maybe you just have a ton of women's factions where you got one singles and one tag, and you have a bunch of those, and then you can kind of build both divisions. But having the split, that's my biggest problem, is that we're now short one more tag team.
Yeah.
And how many women's tag teams do we even have on the main roster?
What, 3?
I don't. think we even
No,
have
not
3.
even, right? No.
No, I mean, you have Damage Control, and then what other teams are a team? The closest you have is Shayna and Ronda. They've been working consistently together for the last couple months, but they haven't really teamed in tag matches at all.
They should.
You have a few, like Raquel Rodriguez can't keep a fucking partner. Liv can't keep a
No.
partner. Shotzi doesn't know what the fuck she's up to.
No.
She's partners left and right with people. Natty,
Yeah.
I mean, God, poor Natty's tag teamed with everybody in the entire company for the past 15
Pretty
years at
much.
one time or another.
Pretty much.
And
I mean, I really still think that her and Tamina were so short-lived.
her and Tamina were so solid. They should still be a team. You know,
yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I'm just saying the women's tag division's a mess and all it needs is consistency, and it wouldn't be a mess because all the women who have been involved in these are good enough to do it. But they just go, all right, well, let's do something else now. Like,
yeah.
So that's my only problem with Toxic Attraction's breakup is that they're a women tag team and I like them as a tag team. So
yeah.
Outside of that, if you just look at them as a standalone story, it's going awesome.
Yeah, it's a great standalone story, but then you have to think, and which makes me think, they should have gone to the main roster as a team.
Yes. Yep.
And if you're going to have that happen, it should have probably happened on the main roster.
Yes. The other thing I was thinking was, I don't know if Mandy leaving shotgunned this at all because that felt a little quick. But it also felt a lot like once Mandy left, it felt like, you know what, just bring him up. Like it felt like that would have been the go-to. Like, okay, well now that Mandy's gone and we have this tag team down there, just bring him up, put him in the mix as a tag team.
Yeah.
But they're leaving him down there to do this thing, and I don't know. I guess my only hope is that at the end of it, they fucking hug it out and say, "Let's be a team again. I'm toxically attracted to you," and they go E2. And then they just come up as a tag team and forget it all happened. Sort of like how stupid Gargano and Ciampa were suddenly a tag team on the main roster for a hot minute after they had that huge break in like that huge fucking rivalry that ended with like a last time ever match where Gargano sniffed Ciampa's jock for a while. Remember that? He had it on his kitchen table, the fucking cup, where he's all like, "Yeah, see, it still smells ripe, doesn't it?" Like, if you can do that and pretend that that whole rivalry, that 3-year storyline never happened, then you could put these two back together and throw them out there.
They could have freaking even kept, like, they could have even put, like, Zelina and,
what do they have to do with Shotzi?
Yeah.
Do what with Shotzi?
No,
right.
Shotzi wouldn't.
Is it because their hair's bright? All punky hair?
No.
Is green and orange a holiday? Is there a holiday that's green and orange?
Well, St. Patrick's Day-ish.
St. Patrick's Day is pretty close, yeah.
You know, making fun of gingers. Pretty, you know. Boy, I'm sorry.
You got ginger and you got the green. And then JC could be their lucky charm.
No, but I was thinking, like, you know, if you could have put Elektra Lopez and Zelina as a tag team, you know, with Legato, I mean, that would have been great too. But, you know, I don't. That would have been really nice to have that, because then you have another solid woman team.
We think Mia Yim, who's now going by Meacham, and Carmella could make a really good tag team with longevity.
I think so too.
Because they're starting to have similar styles. Carmella's back to being trash talking, moonwalking, and all of that. And so she's coming out with like the baggy pants and the shoes again. If she just switched those over to Tim's, so does Meacham, boom, do it. And you can even have Meacham in the front doing her little crouch thing and Mella right behind her doing the moonwalk at the same time. That would look sick.
Oh, yeah.
What a gif.
I'll tell you, I've always liked Meacham is in a tag.
Yes, she's great in a tag.
She's better in a tag than she's singles.
I mean, as of right now, I would say that's been the case lately for sure.
Yeah. But I think always.
Yeah. Well, I only reason I don't say always was just because in NXT, when she was really having her singles run that ended up in that ladder match and stuff, the talent who was around her, she meshed with really well one-on-one. But that also seems kind of like an isolated incident when I look at the rest of a lot of her singles matches. She seems to have a little more trouble with footing in the singles matches than with the tag matches.
Yeah.
It just was like the perfect storm at that time, I think. But let's not sit here and try and book a women's tag division forever.
Oh no.
Let's see the
Don't get
Grayson
blamed for
Waller
that.
stuff. So Grayson Waller had a tremendous match with Tyler Bate. First off,
Oh yeah.
fantastic. But all this Waller stuff is so fucking good, dude.
I'm like, I think I'm sitting here like, dude, Braun, go away. Go away.
I'm
It's
kind
Waller
of
time
over
right now.
Braun right now, and I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just that
No.
he's
It-
doing the one note that he does, and he does it very well. And Grayson's
it-
doing all this incredible work over here, picking fights
Yeah.
with HBK and shit.
Yeah. I'm like, what is going
Did you
on?
see
I'm
that
like,
TikTok that went fucking viral? That one girl was over there doing like a live IG, and then Waller comes out from behind and starts talking mad shit to Braun. And Braun like comes at him, and they just start fucking. And she's all like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, "This
Yeah.
is perfect."
Yeah. He's like anything he touches, not even touches, he can like slightly breathe on something right now. It is amazing. Like,
yeah, Waller
it's
can
gotten to this
fart in the
point-
direction of something, and it's going to go great.
and it's, and I mean, I will say, you guys know me. Like, I was at first, I don't know
Yeah,
exactly. It was a fart, a big stale fart. And now I'm like, holy fuck. Like, I didn't think, if you asked me a year ago what I would think of Grayson Waller, I'm like, if it was still going the same way, they probably should release him because he's not that great. But now I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, move Braun away. Can we
Grayson's
have
a
this?
special
Because
talent.
this needs to dominate NXT, because I can forgive having Booker T on commentary if it's like Grayson Waller all day, every day. You know what
Dude,
I mean?
Waller got in Booker T's face on commentary one time.
I know. I'm like,
And it was kind of
Jesus.
like, oh shit. Like I almost kind of wanted Waller to say some sort of shucky joke in his face.
I know.
You know?
I was waiting for it.
Just in time says all aboard the Waller train, which is nice to hear because he's been on the wrong side of history for a while with Waller.
Yeah. I feel you on that one, man. Justin, I feel you, because I was not on that either. I was kind of like, okay, I'm drawn by the accent because I'm gonna be that kind of girl. I love an Aussie accent. Okay. I really, really do. Okay.
Aussie accents are dope. You can understand what they're saying. It's great.
No, sometimes you can't when they really get into the thick of it.
Their slang gets real goofy.
Well, God, like Adam Brooks, like sometimes like he'll forget, like when he starts going, or like when I used to talk to him and he would go in his, I'm like, bro, dial it back, because now I have no idea what you said. It's like you're speaking to Chinese to me and I have no clue.
Yeah, you're like, get a couple of those shrimps off the Barbie and calm it down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Put the Fosters down.
Yeah. Justin Time does say Michaels versus Waller, stand and deliver. Give me what I want.
Right.
Give it up.
I'm gonna say this now. If we get Shawn Michaels and Waller, because I know that they release goddamn tickets, WWE, I will pay money. I will want to be up in the front to see that bullshit. Okay, I will pay.
Crazy. I think
I will steal babies for people for money on the black market. I will do that.
I think it would be.
Lady, we'll all go.
I think it could be a actual fantastic final match for Shawn if he did it, because he doesn't have to do a lot to really put over that he's pissed at Grayson and wants to prove a point and have Grayson just fucking crush him. The problem is if you put HBK in the match, what happens afterwards? Grayson works for a dude who he beat the fuck up, or he works for a dude who beat him up. Like the Waller character, the problem we're gonna have with a potential HBK Waller match, as much as I want it really complicates what happens on the other side, because we all know how much NXT is run by HBK. This is not going to be Austin McMahon. It just won't, because there was a lot more kayfabe involved at the time.
Well, I think though with Waller, okay, you have to kind of have Waller win, okay, because HBK, got to be his bitch for a little bit. I think this is the way to go. I think, because if you're not gonna progress Braun in that way, then you need at least
maybe
it's the Grayson show, and you need to.
I could see someone being a stand-in for Shawn, telling Waller, "Look, I can't beat you up." Sort of like at Raw 30, where he goes, "I'm too old for this. I can't do this."
John Cena. No,
I don't think you'd have to do like a main roster Well, maybe you could though, but you just have to bring in a Shawn Michaels guy, someone who's clearly a Shawn Michaels guy.
Who would be a clearly Shawn Michaels guy in this
Who's the
situation?
guy that Waller ran out of NXT? Who was the guy that Waller defeated that was clearly a Shawn Michaels guy that was that guy's last match until suddenly he was back? This is where I think they're going, and this is why I'm not happy. Gargano.
No.
Gargano's last match in Waller was against Waller in NXT. And he ran him out and he said, fuck you, dude, and on the way out. And he had a whole promo about how he shook Gargano out of here and how he was an HBK fanboy and all of that. It's all full circle. They're going to bring Gargano here to have a match against Waller, and it's going to be terrible.
No.
I'm telling you now, you heard it here first.
Don't curse the world, man. Don't curse the world. Seriously, don't curse the world.
Justin Time says he felt like the only Waller supporter, so it's nice to see more. Dude, you know I've been on that Waller train. I've been on that Waller train. I've been all up in that Waller.
He has been. Where have you been since episode
I wouldn't even call myself a dry Waller. I'd be moist Waller. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love that. I'll be a dry Waller.
Yeah, there you go.
Late to the party.
Yeah, late to the party.
Yeah. No, don't curse this. Don't curse this goodness with goddamn Johnny Gargano. Okay, please do
That's
not.
my fear. That's my fear is that we're doing some amazing work here. All for naught.
And it's gonna, you know what? We're gonna start a series called Blame Marsh if this happens. Yeah, on episode 1 of Blame Marsh. Yeah, remember that time when he fucking put Johnny Gargano into the existence of a, stand and deliver with an HBK thought here? Yeah, no.
It's disgusting. Justin says, save any Waller Gargano interactions for Owen Waller's on the main roster. It's wasted there, Justin. It's wasted on the main roster because nobody knows or gives a shit about Gargano. Gargano only works in NXT, and it's been proven time and time again. It's all the more reason to put him back in NXT because he's a failure on the main roster.
Well,
he is. I didn't make him that way. He's getting zero reaction.
Okay, I'm sorry, but somebody must really like him because he was in the Royal Rumble way too long.
Way long in the Rumble, and it did not go over well. And when he was tossed out, no one even made a reaction. They didn't cheer or boo. They just went, "Oh, I guess Gargano's out now."
Well, they're like, "Oh, okay," like he made a difference anyway. No, I mean seriously, I was sitting there like getting mad.
Zero
you fucking
elimination.
I was like, "How early?"
Yes,
like I was.
Gargano
so
was in the match like the second longest or something like that, and had 0 eliminations. He was so useless in it. And I'm not even trying to say that to be mean. When you've been in the fucking Royal Rumble for like 30 minutes and you have 0 eliminations, you've made 0 impact on this story. You've just been there.
But he has 0
and that's the story of Gargano. He's just there and won't go away. He does nothing. A Dodger? Oh, I thought you meant
his wife did more. She did more in the Rumble.
His wife did way more. She's got an upside. Yeah. He's got to go downside.
But
I don't know. Okay. Maybe I'm being mean to Gargano. If he's listening,
sorry, no, you're not being mean to Gargano really because nice. there's a lot of people who really like Gargano.
And I get that too. But the reality is no one's reacting to him. He's a huge HBK guy. He worked so well in NXT. I'd be shocked if he's not back in NXT by Stand and Deliver having a match against Waller because of HBK. Otherwise, who is he going to bring? Who is a Shawn guy that HBK could bring to face off against a Waller? And he's got to be a baby face. He's not going to come in with a heel because no one's getting heat like Waller.
Yeah, but Johnny Gargano is not exciting. That doesn't mean let me throw money at you. That's not what that is. It's got to be someone that's worthy of throwing the money.
NXT's never made money. It's not about money.
It's never been about money. No, I'm just saying, though.
Yeah, no, but how many times did they give us Johnny Gargano main events that we didn't care about or want?
Yeah, I know. We
NXT
don't want
just doesn't care. They just do it. They just do it.
Sometimes you got to care because where in the pecking order of WrestleMania, what night is it and what does it go up against? Is it Friday night?
Actually, I think it was like Saturday morning. I want to say it's like right before WrestleMania.
Wait, is it going head to head with ROH?
Is ROH before WrestleMania? Same day?
Saturday?
Yeah. Because that would make
Oh,
total
well,
sense. If they put it head to head against ROH before Mania, I could definitely see them doing that. That would make a ton of sense.
hold on.
But
Hold on.
either way, that's my thought. That's where I think we're going with it. And it's a shame because I think Waller's doing is amazing. It makes me want HBK versus Waller, and we're going to end up with Gargano, and everyone's going to be like, what is this? But I can't think of somebody else who would fit the bill.
I don't know.
But the match he had was awesome. The throwdown was awesome. All the fucking social media stuff they're doing with it.
Ring of Honor is Friday night.
Okay. Friday night, I think, is the Hall of Fame.
No, it's not at night. It's at Friday, 3 p.m.
So it's before SmackDown?
The doors at 3, bell at 4.
So it's like before SmackDown.
Joey Janela's Spring Break is on the Friday night, 8 o'clock.
Okay.
That's going up against, because Joey Janela gives no fucks. But
yeah.
I will say that if anything, no. I mean, come on.
Who else?
No, not Gargano. Anybody but Johnny Gargano, okay?
That's There's not, no one else who can do it.
No one is gonna want that, okay?
You know what would be sick?
What would be sick?
Is if Seth showed up. But Seth's a Triple H guy. He's not exactly an HBK guy.
Well, then, no, that didn't work. I don't know who's a what guy and what guy. I have no idea.
I could see a Kevin Owens being involved, although he's still a very much Triple H guy, but I could see a Kevin Owens popping up. He's just a type of badass who just do it because he do it.
He do it just because I'm like, I don't like your accent, kid. Yeah.
The thing about Gargano, though, is he can take the loss. You know what I mean? Because he's not doing anything anyways.
But if he takes the loss, then it's like, well, what? It's like, oh, you brought your little bitch boy here,
Yeah.
What the
heck? You brought your little bitch boy
sense.
And he bitched out, and now he's down and doesn't even matter because he's not doing anything anyway. So go back to being Dexter's valet.
Just take the bump, dude. Just fucking take the bump. You don't even have to do that.
What if Gargano wins because HBK super kicks Waller? Be fucked up. Be wicked fucked
totally
up.
Fucked up.
All right.
I will not stand. I will not stand by Johnny Gargano getting the fucking W over Waller. Sorry. Nope.
Yeah. I wouldn't want it.
Nope.
Let's see. Let's keep going. What's up?
Oh, one thing I did want to say about NXT, since we're talking about Waller, since that was like the opening match. Have you noticed, or was it just me, that I think Vic's getting a little tired of Booker on commentary? Just some of the things he would say.
Sometimes Booker doesn't give him anything.
But it was really kind of like he had made this comment like, oh, well, like, oh, you've got, like, he made a comment like, oh, like you've kind of calmed down from whatever. And I'm like, Vic, what's going on? Are you not liking Booker? I mean, I know I don't. No,
I'm sure he likes Booker, but I think that Booker seems like he could be, I don't want to say difficult, because I don't think he's difficult to work with, but I do think that he's particular. And I think that there's moments, because there's been times where Vic has said a thing and Booker's reaction's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And you're all like, I mean, you could just respond to it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird. Like, he'll sometimes just kill a thing flat and you go, okay, well,
he kills a lot of things flat, but I was just kind of like, "Ooh, Vic, you're a little testy."
The Tiffany Stratton and Thea Hale stuff I'm liking. Although Thea still needs to calm the hell down, but she's also like, what, 18, 19?
Yeah, she's a little
19. Yeah, she's got a ton of time and a lot of upside.
But I don't think that being in Chase U helps that.
No. She's not going to really get to a higher level till she's far away from any faction. Because this whole thing that they're doing with the schism now is like, all right, but what do we want with her so she can overdo it in schism now too? You know what I mean? Like, not that she would be like that loud, but she would be like the exact opposite of like way too stoic. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and
she needs to be away from that stuff.
Okay, I did not like Booker T singing like Rihanna. That kind of was like, oh God, please shut up.
What do you say about
But
Rihanna?
he was singing Rihanna like when Tiffany Stratton came out. Oh, she
That's
shined like a
funny.
diamond like Rihanna, and he started singing, and I was like, this dude, this is you just cementing why I hate you on commentary. And God, I miss fucking goddamn fucking Wade Barrett. God damn it. Anyways,
He's good
but
on SmackDown. I hear him all the time.
I know, but I know.
Although I'll
But
be honest, I didn't watch this episode with much sound very often because I was editing at the same time. And so if I saw
I
a
was
promo that looked interesting, I would turn it up.
yeah, no, I had it on sound. It was more of let me hear the sound, and if it sounded interesting, then I was
Oh,
looking.
yeah, I got
Yeah,
you.
only because I was working at the same time. But I watched more than I normally would have. But
Mm.
Tiffany Stratton, you know who she reminds me of now? Her look.
Huh.
I don't know. She's reminding me of Scarlett.
Yeah, a little bit. She's got a little bit of a Scarlet thing, but she's a little more bougie than Scarlet.
I know
kind of
she's more
like
bougie, but
yeah,
yeah. She's a more
yeah.
bougie version.
She's more
But I
bougie,
just
but she's also a little closer to Carmella. Like she's
yeah.
somewhere in between the two of them.
Yeah. But
It's
it was
kind of
very
cool.
interesting. Then it just reminds me that fucking I hate what they're doing with him.
With who?
Cross.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I'm waiting for him to come back down to NXT and they do something with him again because I
I don't
think
know
he
where they're
needs
going with
it.
them.
I know.
So let me see. There was some other stuff. I'm not even seeing it here. Is it? Am I just way off? Was it? Was it after this part? Yeah, it was after that part. Okay. The Axiom Damon Kemp stuff I didn't pay any attention to because I just don't really care about either one of them. If I'm honest. But Jinder Mahal challenging Braun Breaker, I think is pretty fucking cool.
I
Jinder.
really liked that promo. Really liked
Yeah.
that promo. I said, wow, like it was very interesting because like for me, whenever I think of Jinder Mahal, immediately the guy doesn't talk. It's 3MB. It's kind of jokey. But that was a really great one. And I thought it was great. You definitely could see the whole, Braun becoming the Cena.
And, yeah.
Excuse me. And sad, but it happens. But it's the point. When you're a champ for a year, it's stale. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. But I do like Jinder here. I think he's really good. Yeah, I just think it's cool. Let's see. They had the Hanley, all the Brooks and Jensen and Briggs, all that stuff. I'm not feeling it. It's like way forced and weird, and this whole like kiss thing they're doing is really like, I don't
kind of boring.
Yeah, it's really like nothing. But we did get Wesley versus Von Wagner in a surprisingly decent match.
God,
I don't like anything with Stone, and then Stone had that whole bit. He started cutting a promo on Wagner in the back, and I just took the volume down. I was just like,
okay,
all right. So I don't know where it went.
You were wise to do that because now for me, I just was like, why the hell am I listening to this? Right. But I stopped and I'm like, wait a minute. There's a lot of, I've noticed subtly here and there, there's a little poke in the AEW bear. Because a lot of what stupid Robert Stone was saying was like Chris Jericho type of things, and I'm like, oh, good Lord, can't even have your own fucking material. God damn, I hate you. I'm like, I don't understand. Are you an HBK guy? Maybe you need to go, let fucking Grayson Waller beat the shit out of you because I don't know who really loves you, but you need to go away. You really, really do. And I'm like, this steal from all
what was he saying?
He was saying like, it was his whole, like, God, what was the quote? Because it was one of those whole things about, kind of the whole Jericho, on the lines of, like being a wizard and being, la 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 and, whatever. And it was just very Jericho-y and like verbatim. You'll have to go back and listen to it because then you'll be yeah, that does sound like something that Jericho like one of his like rants would be.
Yeah, that's weird.
And like, you know, like you need to believe in me. And I'm like, oh no. We don't need, no one believes in you, Robert Stone. Nobody. I'm like, Von Wagner, that's a cue. Run far away. Run far away. Go away. Yeah. I mean, it was, but I was just like, okay, let's just steal other people's material. But yeah, no, he needs to go away. I don't know the worth of him. It was an ugly yellow tux. He reminded me of like, you know, it just like a bad like 90s like prom. That's what it reminded me of. Yeah.
I don't understand what he's doing there. I've not seen like I haven't seen him do anything in NXT that made it look like something was happening successfully.
No. He's like probably one of the worst managers of all time. If you're to rank who are like the worst managers of all time, he ranks high. Very high in that list.
I did like Charlie Dempsey and Hank Walker. I like that Dempsey's using the modified Regal stretch as his finish now, which is really cool because it's Regal's son. And I like the Gulak stuff. I think Gulak's good.
Yeah, that's a good use of Gulak. I think
that's where you're.
That's when you take somebody who, you know, isn't doing as well on like the main roster, and you make them look like $1 million. You can't do that with Gargano, but you can do it with like a Gulak, and it works really, really well. Even Jinder Mahal. I mean, shit, you can. Yeah, there's no point.
Yeah. I skipped the Pretty Deadly thing. I don't.
No, that's awful.
I don't care. Trick Williams calling out Ilya Dragunov was pretty cool. JD McDonough coming out and calling out Ilya too was pretty neat. So, I mean, Ilya and JD are going to do good stuff, and then Trick Williams is somehow in the middle of it, which might be good for him. But it was neat.
Yeah,
it's nice to see Ilya there doing stuff.
Yeah, and it was interesting to really see Trick like doing something apart from Mello.
Yeah.
That was kind of big boy stuff. That was nice to see.
I agree. And then the main event, Roxanne Perez and Maiko Satomura against Kaden and Katana. I mean, this was a really short match that it was good, but all of a sudden just ended. And I like that we're going to get Roxanne versus Maiko. I think that's really cool next week, right?
I really hope, I really hope that with Roxanne, it'd be nice to have Maiko around for a while. So it'd be nice.
I'd like to see her more,
it would be nice to have her win. Because Roxanne, like, you know what? I felt was so over as well at the Rumble. Not because it was near her home. She was, I mean, the reaction was amazing. And it's not because, you're from Texas. It was more of the people see the potential, they know it.
Yep.
And you're ready for it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be a 16-timer or whatever, like Charlotte.
Yeah.
But it's because because you are great and you're going to work hard and, you're likable. That's why. So I think that's, that would be good because I think Mike really can be a really great influence on that current list of ladies that are down there.
I agree. I think it's I wouldn't be mad about it either way. If they move Roxanne up and that's how they get the title off her, then cool. If they are keeping it to kind of lock down Roxanne as a big threat, then that's a cool way to do it too. So it's really win-win.
But I really can't wait to see things like that. Like, okay, what can you do with Cora in that aspect? Like, really kind of develop that. What can you do with like a Tiffany Stratton? What can you do with?
Did Cora get hurt? Why haven't we seen her?
I think maybe she did, but I feel like she did because if she wasn't, then she probably should have been at the Rumble.
Cora was backstage at the Rumble. I know that, but she wasn't in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was because she was hurt. Maybe that was the deal.
I don't know. Yeah. If you know, let us know.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. Do you want to talk AEW?
Yeah, let's talk AEW. I'm not gonna lie. This one was kind of shitty. AEW has been pretty good lately, even in with Rampage. It's been pretty good. This was,
Yeah, there was a lot of bad stuff on this one. I didn't even know that was
yeah.
Preston Vance. I couldn't figure out who
You
Rush's
didn't know that
opponent
was
or partner
Preston
was.
Vance?
No, I just saw the name right here, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's Preston." I'll be damned.
Yeah.
There was a lot of mess on this, and a couple things were nice, but let's go through it. It did open up with a Jerry Jarrett thing. I like that. So did NXT.
Mhm.
I like that. I like when people,
Yeah.
acknowledge and
Did that.
honor. It's great.
Mhm.
Let's see. It opened up though with Jarrett coming out because they were going to get Lethal, Jarrett, Satnam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt, who was actually on the ring, against Orange Cassidy, Danhausen, Acclaimed, Max
No,
Caster, and Daddy Ass.
Danhausen didn't wrestle. I don't even think he came
No,
down
but
to the ring.
it says he was there.
He came out when Orange Cassidy came out
And then he went away.
and whatever.
I started to watch this match and I fucking fell out of it real quick, and then by the end of it, I was just completely waiting for it to be over.
Because we didn't talk about this last week.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts about the Guns now are the tag team champions?
I think it's interesting. I felt like the Acclaimed had too short of a run for what their popularity is. I do think it works because I do think that people hate the Guns with the titles. They didn't want that. They don't like that. And they're bad guys. So that's what you're going for. And I do think that they lose it at Revolution. I think they're going to have a shorter run than anybody, and it could very well be to the Acclaimed. And in that regard, it'll be nice. You know what I mean? So I think that as a story goes, cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was a little less predictable than almost everything else they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of times you watch this stuff and you go, oh, that's who they have. Like Darby having all these TNT title matches against people who aren't in the company.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Bryan having all these matches to get through these wins against people who aren't in the company. And you're like, they're here to lose. They're here to have a good match and lose. Like there's no surprise to it. So the Guns winning in that moment was kind of like, oh shit, they did that. So that in that regard, that was great because it was hard to call.
And also to not having Daddy Ass turn on the Acclaim. Everyone thought that was going to happen, and I'm like, I don't think so with it. So but if Tony Khan decides to pull that trigger of this is the shortest title run, he fucked up. That should have been Starks. Just it didn't matter if he had it just for a hot second. That would have made MJ. That would have made a lot of money. Like MJF look really bratty and really entitled and really
no one knows what you're talking about because you haven't really finished a sentence. What are you talking about?
About Ricky. Ricky should have been
Ricky
the
doing
one.
what?
MJF. That should have been the shortest title reign. Period. Don't do this with the Acclaimed.
We're talking about the tag teams. What are you talking about?
I know, but I'm
the
saying
world title.
Tony Khan's booking. I'm talking shit about his booking, saying that you're going to do that potentially now when that's not money. Money would have been this guy you supposedly hate, and he's contractually obligated to be in Laredo. I thought that was stupid, but anyways, but I'm just saying that's a dumb booking. And it's also kind of dumb too that they're invoking their rematch clause in a 4-way at Revolution. Why don't you just save that for a rainy day and win one of the damn stupid battle royals? That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Who is it going to be? The Lucha Brothers, and then versus the Acclaimed versus the Guns, and then I don't know, the Best Friends or something bullshit stupid. Yeah, no.
No. I guess you would, yeah. If you already have Orange Cassidy in the middle of it. Or they could. I mean, they could do any one of their tag teams.
We're gonna see Satnam Singh and and no, Jarrett and fucking Jay Lethal. Boring.
Did you like anything about that match?
No.
No. Did you like anything about the tornado match? What?
Well, although I will say it's always entertaining to see Sanjay Dutt. God,
Mm,
what a great character wrestler. Anyways,
yeah, he was doing a
yeah,
lot. Yeah. The
yeah,
Texas Tornado
I love
tag match I checked out pretty early on too because it got real messy real fast.
and that was not surprising. But can I say this? Does Moxley always have to have the fucking win?
Hmm. That's kind of his thing, I guess.
Why? Why?
I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb to have you to come down and beat up fucking Jose, the assistant.
yeah. I didn't
That was
care about
stupid.
like that was weird.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't get that.
I'd like
You know.
Wardlow's sit down with JR. That was
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wardlow, like, it was what was neat about it too is that like I don't know if that story's real or not. And if it isn't a real story, it's a little contrived, but he also said it in such a way that really fucking worked, man. Like it was like the long way around of saying cutting my hair was important and giving a why because he had his hair cut months ago and none of us knew why we should give a shit. Like this is a weird thing that Tony does a lot where he like tries to backfill reason. He'll do a thing and everyone goes, why? And like, well, because of all this stuff I never explained to begin with, you know? So the idea that he grew it out because his dad had cancer and couldn't grow his hair at all. So it was this kind of like, I'm going to do what you couldn't do kind of a deal. Like, all right, that's a little weird. I haven't heard a lot of people say they do that. You know, a lot of times you hear about the opposite. People shave their head in solidarity and stuff. But he said it with such conviction. It worked. And then he got like pissed at Samoa Joe that I like kind of bought in. And I was like, maybe it is real. I don't know. Like, but
Well,
I think that's the best part is I have no idea if that's a real story or not.
I, I don't either. But what I'll just because of the interaction I had with Ward and watching him on the boat, the guy's pretty fucking genuine.
Yeah.
He's a genuine dude. I mean, to see like his excitement, like when people like were cosplaying and they were taking pictures of them, and he's like, "Oh, whoa, 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 we have to have the photo." Like there was a guy that was dressed up as Jeff Hardy. He had to
Mm,
fucking be the Matt in the photo. It was, I mean, it was great to see this. Like,
that's
so
funny.
part of me was like, "Damn, if it is real, then shit, that's a lot. That was very powerful. If
Yeah.
it's not, then I'm like, shit, that you fucking fooled me." And
Mhm.
damn, like this is a guy that
Yeah.
like you would see, and you're like, he was MJF's bitch, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, he's a big dude. Yeah, you're gonna push him because it's kind of his just desserts now. But it's like, no, now this is it's a whole different level, and it's a whole different thing. And so for me, it's really brought me into this whole thing with Joe because I don't
Yeah.
think that they've had anything since Joe's been here that was because with him and Darby, it's like that's like dry. That's like eating paste. Ugh,
Yeah.
why? When you're a kid, you're gonna eat whatever, but why would you do that? But this now, it's like, oh yeah, I can see why, and it's more exciting to me to be invested with it because it's
Yeah.
hard to get invested with a lot of AEW bullshit because they're like, oh, same old shit. But
Yeah.
now it's like, I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's not. But Jesus Christ, the way that ended, I was like, shit, this is just, this is great. Like,
Yeah.
and for it to come out of someone that you wouldn't expect, it's like, fuck. Okay, there are
Yeah.
some little bits of light that are in AEW that we don't
Mhm.
necessarily think of. Because if you were to show me that a year ago, I'd be, oh, that's some bullshit. This dude is
Yeah.
not like, no, what the hell kind of shit are you trying to sell us, Tony Khan?
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So that's where it's kind of exciting. And now kind of for me, I'm like, damn, now I kind of like, what's this buildup gonna be? Is it
Mm.
what's Revolution gonna bring? And then it's like, it's probably not gonna end there. It's gotta go into Super Card of Honor. So that's where that's exciting to see. if he decides to go into Tony decides to do that kind of long-term storyline kind of thing ish.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a month. It's about a 2-month program, but it would make sense.
Yeah, that could.
Mhm.
It could be good. And I'm all on the Wardlow thing at this point too. I think I'm going to put him in the outro. I don't think I'm going to put him in the intro. I think he's just going to be the outro. I think he's going to talk right before Bailey. I think it would fit better.
Okay.
He says, because then you have all the positive stuff, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'll have a drink," and then again she chimes in again just to be a bitch.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Mark Briscoe versus the technical beast Josh Woods, who I have no idea who Josh Woods. He didn't look familiar at all.
Josh Woods, the goods is the man. Okay, you need to go back.
Talk about it.
Okay, I huge Josh Woods person. Okay, from the Ring of Honor days. He actually, to give a little background about Josh Woods, Ring of Honor used to do this kind of like future of honor, I think was the title, tournament. Notable people who've won it. Dijak. And no sooner after he won it than he got signed. He did that phenomenal match with Keith Lee, Ebola, and Regal shit himself. And Dijak got signed. So did Keith Lee that same weekend. But Josh Woods had won that. And he is more of kind of like his style of wrestling really is, it's obviously definitely very technical, but he's a person that I'm surprised Josh Barnett has not booked on Bloodsport. I'll be quite honest, because he could go toe to toe with a lot of those people and it would be fantastic. And he's won at first, like finding a character was kind of hard. He was kind of jokey. He did some great work with when he tagged with Silas Young. They were a great dynamic, the two of them. Great tag team, great chemistry, but the personality dynamic was amazing. If you guys do have Honor Club, even getting it for like a month is kind of cool, because you can go back in those archives and see a lot of cool shit. But I think there might be some stuff on YouTube. And actually there was a match that Silas Young and Josh Woods did against the Briscoes that was pretty fucking badass. So definitely, I think that, I don't know if it was in that one with the 100 and however many matches when we were talking about it and did the watch along, but it might have been in there. I'd have to go back and look, but it's worth to see because he's got such great skill and control. He could be in the future. He could be a Bryan Danielson. Absolutely. Hands down.
He looked like
it's
a big
that
dude
kind
too.
of, and he's pretty buff. Yeah, he's pretty buff. Bigger dude, but definitely, I really enjoyed the shit out of that match because it was classic Briscoe, but also too, it was this kind of style that is definitely an independent wrestling kind of style. Definitely. So if that's the kind of wrestling you like, woo, that was like, for me, it was like, yeah, this is the shit I like. And I'm glad it's on TV. So definitely, I don't know what you thought about it, but I was just like, oh yeah. Because I was excited when they teased the promo of it's going to be the two. Oh, Woodsy. I'm like, yeah, this is going to be good. Because it's going to be one of those things. I mean, I think that it's smart that Tony Khan kept him. Didn't like the fact that he's tagging necessarily, because I think that he's better doing his singles thing, because unless you give him someone who complements the dynamic with him, it doesn't work.
I mean, I like seeing Mark Briscoe, and that's cool. I care so little about Ari Daivari and Tony Nese that when I saw them, I was like, okay, so is this guy a jobber then? Like, they immediately devalue people they're around. That's a problem.
I know. See, that's why he needs to be far away from those people.
Yeah. Because he was already going to lose this match anyways, but now he looked like somebody who shouldn't win the match either. You know what I mean? And you kind of want the opposite. Like, you want someone to lose who you think could have won. And the second I saw them with him, I was like, oh, so this guy's not very good, I guess. Like, didn't think much of him just because of who he was associated with. But the match was solid. It was good. I like Mark a lot. It's cool to see Mark out there doing that stuff. I thought his shirt was pretty cool. It's my favorite tribute shirt I've seen so far of Jay. And you know, he got the win, and so they signed him, and he's officially All Elite. And that was nice, but it stung a little bit. If I'm just being honest, it stung a little bit because it's like he only got signed because Jay's dead, and that's shitty. And that's not to say he doesn't deserve it, because he absolutely deserves it. They both deserved it, and they both deserved to be signed 2 years ago, 3 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, that's what stings, is that like he's deserved it all this time, and this is how he gets it and why, and that stung. And I know that that's going to go away with time, because it just will, and he's going to make the most of it, and he's going to shine, and he's going to do a bunch of great work, because that's who he is. And I don't want to discredit what he's earned, but he earned it 3 years ago. He earned it 10 years ago. You know what I mean? And that's
they
my
earned
point,
it a long time ago.
That's
they
what I
earned
mean.
it a long time ago.
Like, that's what I mean. I'm not trying to, like, I'm not discrediting that he was only signed because of this, but he was only signed because of it, because he earned it so long ago and was refused it. And that's what stung about it, is it's like, fuck, that sucks, because it didn't have to be this way. And we don't know who was at fault for that, honestly. You know, there's still all those rumors about the Warner Brothers people and all that. And if it's true, then fuck those people. I think Tony Khan always wanted him. I don't think it's a Tony thing. I don't think it's a fuck Tony deal. But there's something weird about it all, and I don't like that, and I still feel bad about it. But I'm happy to see that he finally got what he's had coming to him for a very, very long time. And I'm happy to see that he's going to make the most of it, and I believe that he will, you know?
Yeah. It also stings with me too. And I think that I see on internet wrestling of all forms, there were so many people before Jay's death that were like, you know, fuck these, you know, redneck, racist, homophobic assholes, blah, blah, blah. A lot of these people, these same people, when he died, oh my God, he was a great man. I'm like, really? He's a great man now. Okay. Yeah, this was a guy that for years and years, you preached this rhetoric of he's, you know, homophobic, he's racist, he's la la la, right? And you're like, oh, it's a shame. And these same people now are the same people saying it's a shame that, you know, he couldn't be on TV like in this platform. I'm like, no.
Yeah, you were part of the noise. You were part of the noise. You were part of the problem, you know?
You're part of the noise. These guys deserved this years and years ago.
Yeah.
You know? And it's more like you guys need to shut the fuck up, because, you know, these people, you ruin people's careers. And it just gets me so angry. And it got me upset. Like, you know, Mark and Jay deserved this years and years ago. You can ask a lot of people. Like, you can ask people in the back. Like, they'll tell you these guys should have had it years ago.
Yeah.
Years and years ago. And now this is what it is. And so it's really like disheartening. And I get angry because I'm like, it's great and it's going to be amazing. And I like how after every match, he'll say, he gets in the camera's on him, and, you know, he says this thing, you know, says something to his brother. And I think it's amazing. It gets me every time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is well-deserved. And I'm just sick of people trying to ruin people's careers and their livelihood. It's like, okay, the guy's dead. So are we going to forgive people when they're dead?
Yeah. And that's the other problem too, is the grandstanding after the fact. You want to be someone trying to keep someone down in the mud. And then when it gets bad like that, you want to be grandstanding saying, oh, they should have always. That's the part that stung about all this, is like, it didn't have to be this way. It didn't have to be this way. But yeah, like you said, him looking in the camera saying that he loved Jay and saying he's going to keep on moving. I forget how he said it, but it was something like, say what?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's amazing.
And I'm really hoping that at Super Card of Honor, because obviously they've got to do something with the belts, that their name is attached to that somehow, you know. And I think that it's something that they more than deserve that, more than. And I think that it's something that definitely, you know, as time goes, I mean, people will forget it. You can forgive it but you can't forget. So that's how I am. I'm like, I can forgive some of these assholes,
Oh yeah.
but I don't forget any of these people, any single one of
No.
them. So when they sit there and they're, oh, they're great. I'm like, yeah, I remember when you didn't think so, but okay.
Yeah.
And that's the shitty part about it. And that's the shitty part about a lot of things.
Yeah.
So, mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Renee sit down with Adam Cole, I didn't really care about and kept it moving.
No. Who cares, Adam Cole, who you want to wrestle? Who back there? Nobody cares. I don't care.
Just do it. Just show up and wrestle at this point. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
I don't
no,
need these.
no
I don't
one
need
cares.
week after week of like, guys, I'm back soon. Guys, I'm back soon. Just, okay, come back
Yeah,
when you're back.
no.
Whatever.
The only person who I probably would be interested to see him wrestle at this point, who I've never seen him wrestle, would be probably Ricky. And that's it.
That might be good. Yeah.
I mean, even then, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to see that.
What'd you think of the MJF promo? Even like this week and last week, I went back and watched last week because everyone was talking about it.
Mm-hmm. It's the same thing, different city.
It's always the same. It's shitty rhetoric. It's not believable.
No,
like,
but
it's not
funny.
even like he's saying delusional things like when he's going out there and saying like, oh, these people used to love me. I was like, they still do, dude. They cheered you the whole time. And you even saw like he comes out and he's like, oh, I'm going to get some heat and fuck with the fans. And so he's like, here, give me your popcorn. And the person gives them popcorn and he like throws popcorn in it. And then they smile and laugh like, look, he threw popcorn at me. They're all in on the gag and they love you. And it's really weird when you try to pretend like they don't and you're actually like, it's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
The whole thing, Christopher Daniels, was weird.
That was a strange one. But
Christopher Daniels is a really good talker, I found out, though. He doesn't get to go out there and talk much.
Oh yeah. But well, let's be real. Of the two of him when he was tagging with Frankie, I mean, Frankie was always the standout. But let's go there. But anyways, no. I think that it with MJF, it's like, can you give us a different side to you?
Or a different cadence, even.
Even that
Bryan
too.
Danielson. These people love you, man. You have no idea how much that pisses me off, man. Like his cadence is the same always and always.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like over the fact that with him, it's like, dude, okay. When is it going to change up? The only time it changed up was when you didn't know what to say after Ricky Starks burned you. You didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
You had nothing to say. And that was the only time. So it's like, when's it going to change? Because we all know Danielson's not the best person on the microphone. I mean, when they had that little thing, he cut his little promo, I had to sit there and ask myself, how many times did he film that? Because he comes off very dry. That's not his strong suit. You don't have to be a good talker. It's okay. But when you're giving me a vignette and stuff, you're kind of forcing me to listen to this guy, yeah, he probably had a bunch of takes, but with MJF now, it's like, dude, you just need new shit. If you're gonna do it, you need to new shit, keep it fresh.
Yeah. He's like really stretching too, and the whole thing with the girl and the fucking car crash was just so outrageously unbelievable and stupid, and
that was
none of it, man.
That was completely lame. I'm like, if you're gonna make up a story,
it's just such a mess. Like, I mean, he does fine. The thing is, I think he stands out there because he's the only one who's consistent there. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna go out there and cut that same promo every week. But he's gonna go out there and cut that same promo every week, and it's consistent. And they don't get that with many other talent because the other talent who can do it don't get time every week. You know what I mean? Like, so I just. And I get it. That's their baby. That's their thing. The AEW fans love him because he's their bad guy. And I hear people all the time say he's the greatest. He might be the greatest ever. He's generational. And I think that's very possible. I still feel like the potential for him is there. I feel like he needs some significant coaching. I feel like someone's going to teach him how to refine this. Yeah.
He's not going to take it. It's all ego. And I'm not talking about Ethan Page. It's an ego thing. And I get it.
I don't know. from what I hear and understand about MJF, I think he is coachable. I really do. I think he comes off with the ego, but I really think backstage, I think any veteran who approaches him and says you should do this, I think he would listen, because I do think he does love and respect the business, and everything he does to me tells me that. You know what I mean? Like, I think he is coachable. I just don't think he has coaches who are going to give him critical feedback. I think he's got people who are going to cheerlead him. Perfect, man. Keep doing what you're doing. And you're like, okay, but
yeah. Well, I think,
but if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's not getting better, right?
yeah. But I think I'm going back to Ricky. Starks gave him the opportunity to step his shit up.
Yeah.
He did. It was quite clear. Because even though, yeah, Ricky was probably like, this is what I'm probably going to do. Probably gave him the benefit of the doubt of, this is probably what I'm going to do. And once he was there and he was feeling it, oh yeah, no, it's something different. And I think that there was that opportunity there that he left a lot of shit out on the table.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, Max couldn't do it. He couldn't follow through because he had that dumbfounded look on his face, like, oh, I don't, So it's kind of like, you look really dumb. And if you're at the best, you should have been able to go toe to toe with someone who's giving it to you, because it's acting 101. It's ad lib. Okay. Yeah. And if you can't be off the cuff and it's the same shit all the time, then if that's the best, then you're like, yeah, I don't know what that is, what that's called, because there's no way. Now, like, I look back on his things with Jericho, right? Back in the day. And I think that with him, they're both two people that are kind of dry, very repetitive. So there wasn't anything to grow on. And then again, when he had his shit with going back and forth with like fucking Sammy, same thing. Another little dry little fuck, and there's nothing. But when you are challenged with somebody, it's like that should be your stomping ground right there. So I'm waiting to see if there is another person that can challenge him that way, and if he'll be dumbfounded with it,
or he'd be willing to. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people wouldn't be willing to. Sort of like with Charlotte. No one's ever going to try and come off sideways with Charlotte except for a Becky or a Bailey, because they don't have the fear of being told in the back that by Charlotte that, it's not how I do things, right? Like, they don't care if they get into a fight in the back. I mean, Bailey does want to get a fight in the back, but at the end of the day, Becky's not going to take that shit from anybody, right? Ricky's going to see it as an opportunity. A lot of people feel like just being in the presence is the opportunity, and you don't want to rock that boat and all that, where Ricky's like, fuck, rock the boat, tip the boat over, whatever it takes to get me noticed,
Yep.
I don't know if there's anybody else who's got the wherewithal to do that.
It's sad. It's really sad. And that's where you got to look at it to see, like, the people who are these coaches in the back, are you prepping anybody or helping guide anybody who's going to be your future that you can take a chance on to do it? Because it'll only make them get eyes on them a little quicker, go, oh, okay, well, maybe, but I don't know. I mean, the only other person I think that was at the company who probably could have gone and did it, successfully would have been Cody, probably.
Yeah.
But even then, there's still other things in it. But yeah, but you need someone who has nothing to lose. Ricky has nothing to lose, had nothing to lose.
Yeah.
And everything to gain. And it's just not worked in his favor.
Yeah.
Because now you're a tag team to Will Ospreay 2.0.
I think it's funny too, is that, like, at the end of the day, they're doing all this work and they're doing that shit with the fucking car accident because they're desperately begging the crowd to boo MJF. That's what this is, a desperate plead to boo him because they want MJF and Bryan Danielson to be a big match. Problem is they're going to boo the whole way there anyways. And then when the match happens, they're going to stop. They're not going to boo and cheer where they should. they might boo during the match because they're supposed to not like the guy, but the second MJF wins, the place is gonna lose. They're gonna lose their shit. Fuck yeah, our guy beat Daniel Bryan. He's our guy. You know what I mean? Like, he's not
Yeah.
hated at all. He's not even close to hated. And so it's really
Mhm.
weird to force this way. This feels kind of
Mhm.
like Roman being a babyface for so long when people hated him. You're just
Mhm.
forcing a thing that doesn't make sense. Except this time, it doesn't work. It doesn't work reverse, right? So when you're
Mhm.
pushing a babyface, super babyface, and the crowd turns on them and they start booing, you can keep doing that, and they'll boo more. And then your babyface heel dynamic changes to where the person who's perceived as the super babyface becomes the heel, and you can move another babyface in there to get over, or you can move a heel in there to turn babyface. They did it with Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman was a heel. They needed him a babyface, so they put him in a program with Roman Reigns because they
Mhm.
knew the more he fucked with Roman, the more they would cheer him, and he turned babyface. It doesn't
Yeah.
work in reverse. If you have people
Yeah.
trying to boo someone and they want to cheer him, you can't put someone against them and have the opposite reaction happen. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, you're not going to get people to boo both. You're not going to be able to put a baby face against him to turn heel. You know, it doesn't work the same way. Like, it's just weird. It's a mess, and I don't understand it. It's super phony.
Yeah, I know. And it makes me wonder now with Revolution if MJF succeeds.
I imagine he will. I think that's the whole point of this.
What's next?
Another fucking monster of the
Phil
month. 'Cause
Brooks
the other
come
thing is,
out? Does
oh,
Phil
maybe.
Brooks come out? Oh my God, let me tell you this. If I'm anywhere close, I'm going to jail because I will throw hot garbage. I will probably go over the thing and go, get the fuck. I will walk him back to the back. People, is that a work? I'm like, no, that's just me saying you don't belong here.
Yeah.
So that whatever security company, you better know this face because I will hop over a rail and I will escort him out of San Francisco.
Yeah.
I will. I'll say my car is right there. I will take you in my car. I will drive. I will even drive into the bay and take you with my car. Dude, you're not wanted. No.
Yeah.
If I get wind that he is in San Francisco, maybe that might not happen. Maybe I'll find out where he is.
You could start to build for Paige.
Hangman?
Yeah, you can go back to Hangman. Hangman and MJF could be good. That's the rivalry we always wanted.
No, because poor Hangman, like Hangman, fuck, he's like the fucking redheaded stepchild of that company. No.
Yeah, he is. It sucks, but
no, leave him alone. Leave Hangman alone. Let him go do other things. Not that title anymore. No, they gave him goddamn. They did not do Hangman right. They did him dirty, and there's nothing you can do now to fix it.
Yeah, I forgot when I said that too, that he won the championship one time. I totally forgot about it. I said it, and I was like, he's never had it. And then after a while, I was like, wait, didn't he have it?
Wait, he did, yeah. Had to right the wrong.
Yeah. Jack Perry and Brian Cage, everything to say about any of that?
No.
Because I really don't. Christian Cage came back, so that's fine, I guess.
Yeah, whatever. Boring.
I didn't watch anything. I didn't watch the Renee backstage with the guns in them. I just left that low.
No, that was when they came out stupidly to say that, they're putting their, at Revolution, there's going to be 4 instead of, 3, 3, it's a fatal 4 tag now. And I'm like, okay, boring.
Oh, yeah. Guns, the Acclaim versus the winner of the Battle Royal and the winner of Revolution Battle Royal. Oh, my God. All right.
Well, who are there? Like, okay, I sit back and I'm thinking of tag teams. Who do we have? Okay, well, there's not that many. Let's go there. It's going to be the Lucha Brothers, maybe Top Flight. I don't know, but Top Flight is still doing their thing with AR Fox. So, it seems like they're going to want to, tangle with the 6-man again. Private Party, half of them are injured. Well, you're gonna have Matt Hardy and like freaking, the one dude. No.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, and what are you gonna have? Arya Davari and freaking Tony Nese? No, boring.
You could have Lethal and Jarrett win one of the Rumbles and get in there.
You could. That's probably what's gonna happen, and probably Chuck and Trent. Although, let me go there. I personally would love to see Roppongi Vice because,
that'd be cool.
Vice. Anyways, but, and Chuck Taylor's looking a little rough. I saw a picture of him and Orange Cassidy at the Super Bowl. Looked a little rough.
Oh.
I didn't recognize him. I'm like, Chuck Taylor, what happened to you? Jesus Christ.
I left the volume off for the Elite backstage as well and looked away.
You didn't hear anything. That was horrible.
I guess it was a promo for Rampage, which is weird, but okay.
Top Flight and AR Fox are really not good on the mic, and it doesn't help when you have, The
Elite are also not good on the mic.
No, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. It's like, why don't you just have Michael Nakazawa and fucking Don Callis talk? Okay. I mean, seriously, come on. Guys.
Let's see. I saw Kip Sabian came out and I fast forwarded until the end of the match. So I saw Moxley come out for a Page standoff. Was there anything about that match that was worth even considering watching?
No, but I will say this. It's very interesting to me because Excalibur, how he likes to fucking throw facts out there that, no one gives a fuck about, had said that, these two men were, because I guess Hangman was the first winner of the Rumble thing that was before Double or Nothing. And then the first singles match winner was Kip versus Guevara. And I'm like, that's totally two random people, because I was thinking, you had Kip go over Sammy? What the fuck? And then you have this whole thing with him in the cardboard box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so Sammy still had the Panda Bear thing, and
Sammy still kind of does. Whatever. I'm sorry. I just don't enjoy people wearing a Panda Bear on their crotch, whatever.
Oh, does he do that now?
He used to.
It was on his head before.
Here. He would wear that
there
too.
was the one. Yeah, that's right. It was awesome.
Yeah, they would wear it too.
Yeah. But the standoff between Moxley and Page, I kind of dug. I thought they both did a pretty solid time. I mean, they both stumbled over a couple of words, but I thought it made it look more natural, to be honest. I thought it worked.
Yeah, that's great because it's fine because they're not wordsmiths.
And it's the heat of the moment stuff, and you stumble over your words and you get it right, and you say, but still, fuck you, dude. Like, it was like, oh, that was good.
Yeah. They just purely hate each other. Yeah.
Yeah,
they hate each other, and it's amazing. I love it.
And then the Dark Order came out and just fucking farted on the whole thing. I was like, they couldn't look more jobber. It's so weird. Although I'll say this: Evil Uno's mask, with as dumb as it is, I love that it's all leather.
Yes.
Like, it looks like a cool worn leather mask. And I was like, that's a cool fucking mask in that regard. So, but he sounds like a total goof. He looks like a turd. Everyone around him looks like they're less than. And I was like, what is this? And then Uno like slaps Moxley. And I was like, why didn't Moxley just like fucking rip his heart out of his chest? Like, I don't believe for 1 second. Uno might say, we're not afraid of you. And that's fine. You don't have to be afraid of someone to lose a fight to them.
No.
But there's nothing about Uno or anyone in the Dark Order that makes me think they could last 2 minutes in the ring with Moxley, or outside the ring, or in a parking lot, or at a buffet. I don't believe that they could handle a punch. Like, there's nothing about them,
Oh, that's a great quote.
Yeah.
Buffet. Oh boy.
Weird. And then
bless evil.
Yeah, the only thing you're good at is eating, and I think Moxley could do better than that too. But
no, I don't think so. I think
Johnny
Johnny Hungy could take him down.
Actually, Johnny Hungy probably can eat a fucking lot. A little dude stacked
Johnny
like
Hungy
that
could probably eat more than.
He's probably the type of dude to get 3 sandwiches at Subway when he goes. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
And that's not even a knock. It's not. I used to work with this. It's crazy the kind of people who can like eat like a lot. And he's, like I said, he's jacked. He's a big little guy. I used to work with this really petite girl way back when, and she used to go to Subway and get like 2-foot-long sandwiches. And I was like, I always thought it was so weird. And I would think she was taking one home, and she would just sit there and eat them both. And she couldn't have been smaller. I was like, what?
Wow.
Like rail thin. It was crazy.
You can always tell what a person is like by their Subway order.
That's true, and I refuse to go there, which tells you all you need to know. I did like though that Moxie looked past Evil Uno to talk to Paige, and then rolled out, kind of like, you were not worth my eyesight. And I was like, he's right, he's not.
Yeah.
I skipped the Jericho stuff backstage, but I guess they're still talking about Ricky. So
Yeah, he's going to be wrestling Jazz Hole 1, I think. I don't know. They're both Jazz Holes. I don't know.
Oh,
It's
Garcia, yeah.
Yeah. I must say, talk about people who are not comfortable with a microphone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that guy needs a lot of work.
Yep.
But my thing is, it's like, okay, yeah, you guys can't beat Ricky cleanly. Yeah, we're gonna get Ricky and Jericho at Revolution. I have a feeling.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm not watching it.
I have to watch it if I go.
I know, it's true.
Okay, and I mean, and I'm gonna be probably the only one wearing probably a Ricky Stark shirt because got to do that since apparently.
Don't you have the jersey?
I don't have a Sir Daddy jersey.
Really?
No.
That's crazy. I want one.
No, I wanted to make one, right? Yeah. But he didn't give me because I would have, if I had done that, I would have done that with booty shorts and been all, you need to put the booty shorts back. But no. But I'm waiting for him to bring it back. He wore the jersey the one show when he did that ladder match, that Battle Royal, whatever the fuck it was that he did. I want him to bring it back because he has no problem. There's no problem calling himself Stroke Daddy on TV. He's done it 3 times now. So I'm hoping it comes back because that was iconic. Although I will say that it would be nice too, but I would wear one of my I told him, you need to go back to doing designing your own merch because this fucking generic stuff is
so good.
So I'll probably be wearing my Stroke Daddy shirt, the red and black one. I'll probably wear that one. Yeah.
And then the craziest shit happened. I start watching the beginning of this match, right? So Tony and Saraya come out, and Saraya's holding a spray paint can, and they walk over to a plant in the audience who's clearly a plant because they've created space between her and every other fan around her, and she's supposedly in the front row. She's holding the most simple DMD sign. Tony grabs it, rips it in half, and Saraya grabs her and throws her over the barricade. And then they keep holding her down like they're going to do something. Ruby Soho's music plays, and to say there was a lack of urgency would imply that she seemed like she cared at all. She's out there to save that girl, and she kind of goes like, looks over, and goes like she's trying to stop it, but then she walks as slow as possible over there, and also stays a good distance away, and just goes like, guys, don't. Like, she had no intention of saving this supposed fan. This just came off so fucking contrived and phony. It was weird. It's like, why are we doing this? Then this match kicks off. You got Britt, you got Jamie Hayter, you got Soho, you got Tony Saraya. It's all happening, and you're like, it's fine. This match is a sloppy mess. And partway through the match, they're like, oh, what a main event. And my eyes bugged out, and I went, this is your main event? I couldn't fucking believe it. I thought this couldn't be. And I looked at the time, and sure enough, this match was bad. The after match was bad. The before match was bad. Like, this was terrible. And I felt bad because I really like Tony and Ruby. Not a big fan of Britt, and that's fine. I like Jamie a lot. I think Saraya has a ton of potential because we know what she's capable of. And then the weirdest thing happened. Before I watched this match even, I'm on Twitter, which I don't go on much, but I was on it. And I saw that Saraya was trending. So I clicked it. And it was just tweet after tweet after tweet of Saraya's. Can we officially say Saraya's the worst signing in AEW history? There was one that had like WWE fans, AEW fans, and then a handshake in the middle that said hating Saraya. There was people showing the fans the interaction and saying people want to say that Bailey's ripping up signs from kids in the front is a plant, but she's not throwing them over there where it becomes insulting to your intelligence, you know, and you go, okay, I hear that. But I didn't see a single positive tweet about it. The closest I got to was the occasional dirty post, a picture of her scantily clad and people saying ooh la la kind of concept, right? It was either people oogling her body or talking mad shit. And I felt really bad for Saraya because they fumbled her so fast. And I wonder if part of it is she just needs more direction than she needs to be in charge of her own direction. Like, whatever this is that's happening isn't clicking for a lot of people, and they've turned on her so bad. And I get it that that's why they probably turned her heel. They knew it was not working. But I don't know if that saves it. I don't know if that pulls the nose up. I just don't know. And I mean, maybe I'm not the one who's supposed to know, but I felt bad for her because I was like, God damn, they're not even saying she's not good at this or that. They're just saying trash. You know what I mean? Like awful. Like, then in the same breath, I'm seeing MJF tweets with like, before the, you know, while they were on commercial break, MJF, you know, slapped a phone out of someone's hand, threw someone's drink in their face, threw popcorn at someone, kissed some girl and stuff, and just all these things about, you know, and he's doing all this and telling them all that they're stupid. He goes, I love this guy. And you're listing off all the reasons you're supposed to be hating him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he did all these things to get heat, and your response is, man, I love him. And then she does these things to get heat, and the response is she should retire. And you go, oh, that's also not like booing either. It was just crazy. And this match did not work out. This was rough. I don't know. Did you see a better side of it? You said you really like the spray paint thing. I've seen only some of it. I haven't watched like the last several weeks really. And I've seen little clips here and there, and I go, that's interesting and weird and a little contrived because people are selling it in different weird ways. Like Leva Bates sold it so awkward. I was like, what? Like, but
well, Leva Bates is already awkward anyway.
Right. What are you gonna do? Right. So, but I'm just saying, like, this wasn't like NWO where they would knock people out and then spray paint them, and you'd see them come to and get mad. Like, some of these people are acting like it's painful, and you're just like, oh, fuck, okay. But I don't know. This match was a mess.
Yeah, the match was a mess. I'm not gonna lie, but I will say I think I'm probably the only person that kind of likes the little. This is how you do Mean Girls, okay?
Oh, that was the other thing in those tweets. They're like, hey, Tony Storm put all this effort into building a division, handing it over to Jamie Hayter and elevating everybody. And Saraya comes in and ruins it all with this lame shit. A bunch of people were talking about how Saraya is bringing Tony down. And that was crazy too. But I don't know that that's the case. I'm just like, as I was reading these tweets, I was like, what the fuck?
I don't think so. I don't think she's bringing anybody down at all. The thing is that we have to remember, and I think that this is where people forget, we have a little bit of short-term memory loss here, is that Britt Baker, by the whole AEW, whatever you want to call it, I don't even want to call it universe, but the cesspool of AEW, you know, Britt Baker is their beloved woman. She can do no wrong. You can talk shit about Thunder Rosa. You can be a mean girl backstage and all of that, but Britt Baker can do no wrong. Yeah. Anybody who goes against this is bad. Is whatever. You're evil.
There's a problem.
You have a problem. Now, the one thing I think with Jamie Hayter, and I've always said this, I think I said on episode 1, what hurts her is Britt Baker.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's gonna hurt her. And it's like, well, what right now do you do? So the thing is, why I like the whole Mean Girls, the Saraya, Tony Storm thing is that, you know, in its own weird poetic justice, and I see it from all angles, is it's kind of funny that they're being mean girls
Yeah.
and to everybody. But then the real mean girls are like, now they look like just a bunch of bitches.
Yeah.
Because like you were ruling the school then, they're taking
Yeah.
over. It's a new regime. And that's where I think it's kind of nice because it's not about you, Britt Baker. Because we all know that when Jamie got that title, you didn't want your homegirl to have the title. We know you're not happy about that. You can be as fake as fuck. I think you're a fake as fuck person on screen and off.
Yeah.
So I don't buy it.
Yeah.
Now, these two, there's reasons for them to be a little bit bitter and mean,
Yeah.
Get it. I like it. I like how if they did it right, how Ruby and certain people could be in the middle because they're like, no, dude, I just want to do my job.
Yeah.
I'm liking that Athena is nowhere near any of this shit and she's just doing Ring of Honor shit. That's great.
Yep.
Don't like that Willow is kind of thrown into here. I don't like that. I don't want Sheeta thrown into there. Whatchamacallit feels like, hey, I've earned my way. I want to be in here. Jade Cargill wants a piece of this. Go ahead. Okay. Your type of mean girl is different than with Saraya and Tony.
Yeah.
Because those two, they can back up being a mean girl because Tony can wrestle. Saraya, I'm sure if she really wanted to, she could hone back what she had before and she could wrestle because I always thought she was good.
Yeah, she was always good. This also devalued Jamie Hayter as a champion. She was like so less than in this story.
She's been less than, period, because of Britt Baker. It doesn't matter. Even if there wasn't this storyline, Britt Baker devalues her because, having that attachment and Rebel, what the fuck are these two bitches going to do for you? And I think it's Tony's lack of, and also the lack of, because who's their coach back there? Madison Rain?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of a lack of people knowing what they're doing. I mean, I'm thinking like with Serena Deeb, that's I think she was more of like the technical advisor. But again, I think that certain people have more of a voice back there than we think that they do. Yeah. And it's quite obvious. So I look at it as, all right, you can throw Jade Cargill wants part of that. Go for it, girl. You're just gonna look like shit out in the street. Because at this point right now, you've been built up to something that you shouldn't be in that platform.
Yeah, you're just not.
That it's like, who's gonna beat you now? You're 51-0. Who's going to come along? The only person that would probably can come along right now legitimately, and it should have been done already, is they came in and they took it off of her. It should have been Saraya, should have been Athena when she came in. It should have been one of those. These big signings. Tony, it could have been anybody.
Yeah.
And even now the return of Thunder. If Thunder comes back, if she were to come back soon, that you let Thunder have it. Let her do it.
Yeah. And then the problem was because you could also always argue like, hey, Mandy Rose could be a good one, but problem with having someone come in and just take out Cargill right now, if it's the fresh signing, is it undervalues the entire roster. We didn't have anybody who was good enough, so we had to buy somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it undervalues them as opposed to saying that we're getting better. It's like, oh no, we're so bad.
But if Thunder comes back and did it,
she could come back stronger than
that would be all, oh shit, right? Like that's an issue. Because I think that Jade's put on this pedestal that I don't know, I don't understand why. And it's kind of like Britt's on that pedestal too. Again, another person, don't understand why.
Yeah.
That it really doesn't make too much sense. And then when they have some very talented women that wrestle for them.
Yes.
But the problem is you're not showing it. And so we're getting shit like this, like girl fights.
Was this match for anything? Is somebody a contender now or anything?
No.
It was just a triple threat for no reason?
Triple threat for no reason.
This didn't make any sense, and
Yeah,
this
it
also
doesn't.
felt like a main event for main event's sake. Like it felt like Saraya was proving a point that she could get the women in the main event, but it
Maybe
didn't
I don't.
feel like a main event match at any moment or a main event story at any moment. This felt so lesser than that when they said it was the main event. I was like, no.
Mhm. Well, I think that it's such a big deal because you have these three big names. That's why it was the main event, because it's three big women names.
Yeah.
But to be honest, like, remember when like Britt used to be, oh yeah, I main evented with Thunder Rosa and da 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 da. Yeah, yeah. With Thunder Rosa though, those matches you main evented were good fucking matches.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was trash, and
So
I'm not
bad.
saying that I enjoyed the match because I did not. I didn't, but I'm saying that I like this whole Saraya Tony Mean Girls thing, and if it's done right,
Yeah.
it could be very powerful.
You could have a big
If
turnout.
it's done right, but it's not going to be done right because Tony Khan does too much. So that's where I'm like, you need to. This is a prime example of, can you let go of some of the shit and let other people kind of help you with this, because there's a lot of stuff that's very disjointed and it doesn't work,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Six Crows in the chat. He says, "Is Jade Cargill Tony's answers to Bianca?" I've seen a few people say that before. I don't think so, because I think that's oversimplifying it. Strong, muscular black woman feels like what we're going for. I think Bianca. I think the similarities end pretty quick. They're both athletes from prior, right? And they're both like homegrown, and they're both only there. They didn't do other things. Like they're both kind of, I mean, like that's kind of where their similarities, I think, really end. I really think that Jade Cargill is Tony's answer to not getting Goldberg. And I'm not saying that to be like funny or cute. He said he wanted Goldberg early on. He
Where's
really
the
wanted
fart gun?
Goldberg.
If I had the fart gun, I would fart gun you right now, because that's a shitty fucking, that's a Bishop like take right there. Oh my god. Holy
What are you talking
hell.
about? He said he wanted Goldberg. He said he loved Goldberg as a kid, and he wanted to
Yeah,
get
but
him, and Goldberg
she
wouldn't
is
sign
not
with him.
she is not goddamn Goldberg.
She's really close.
Okay.
She's
No.
winning for no reason. She's not very good. She looks very impressive, and then she has to have a match that's longer than 2 minutes, and it falls the fuck apart. Goldberg didn't have any good matches till his match with Bobby Lashley like last year.
But Bobby Lashley's awesome though. So
He's so good. Bobby Lashley's so good.
I know, but you see, she's wrestled good people. It was the booking that was terrible with it.
Well, she's also a bad wrestler with a big ego.
Yeah, duh. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know
By the way, people, don't ever ask her to sign something, because she don't do that.
Yeah.
That's the way she said, "Oh, I don't do that."
Yeah.
But someone was like, "Dude, if you personalize it, would you do it?" Took a lot of convincing, apparently, but she ended up doing it. But yeah, it's like, girl, your shit ain't gonna be worth like $2 in 10 years time. No one's gonna know who you are.
Yeah.
I won't. You'll probably be on like what's that show? The Masked Singer. Yeah. And then they'll be, oh, that's Jade Cargill. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Six Crow says Goldberg had a killer match with Bret Hart. That's true. He had Bret Hart's retirement match. Not a lot of people can say they retired Bret Hart. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
But I was gonna say, I don't think Tony likes Jewish people. But anyways, sorry.
I don't know. He likes MJF and Goldberg.
Yeah, but he's got a better wrestler and another Jewish wrestler, Colt Cabana.
Yeah, but Goldberg's really good at winning matches.
I don't know, but Colt Cabana is a better wrestler than the two of them.
Yeah, but
Colt Cabana doesn't win a lot because he doesn't mind laying down for people.
Because he's lazy. He just falls asleep. I know.
He looks a little lazy now. Okay, I saw a photo of him. He was kind of chubby looking, and I'm like, whoa, dad bod. It's like you're getting granddad bod now, dude. God, but Colt Cabana, people, come on now, let him work.
Dynamite's going to be
built like an air fryer. Fuck, he's like built like an industrial freezer. It's getting big.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's a cool guy.
Hear me fast.
Dynamite's in
Sorry.
fucking Phoenix next week. It's like an hour and a half away from
Yeah,
my
why
house.
aren't you going? I want to go.
You know what's funny is so producer lady's a vet, and so she gets ticks on vet ticks, and so some of the shows
They don't have them?
they'll donate tickets to vet ticks, and you can get up to a certain number of tickets, and all you pay is the service fee. So like for the CWF we had 2 tickets. We could have got up to 4 tickets, and all we had to pay was the service fee. So it was like $14 or whatever. And so it was great. We went. She looked up Dynamite to see if it was on there, and it was. And she goes, "Oh shit, it's here for like $5." And I was like, "Really, $5?" I was like, "How many tickets can you get?" 1. They had a limit of 1.
What?
You can go by yourself, or you're not going.
Oh my god! You know what? Producer lady should talk some shit to at Tony Khan, because that's wrong. That is wrong.
It's one of the few
Tony
times we've ever
Khan-
seen that. The only other time we saw you could only get 1 was Weird Al Yankovic.
Well,
His
he's
show was
gonna
fucking
be-
sold out already, and they're expensive
Oh,
tickets.
okay. Well, yeah, that makes sense. No, Tony Khan, do you not like veterans? Do not make me spread some rumors out here that you don't like veterans.
Yeah.
Or,
Yo,
you know,
even at
do-
CWF, they knew they did it because they even said, "We want to thank everyone from Vet Ticks for coming out." And they wanted to
Yeah,
thank vets, and they
because-
asked vets to stand up. And we saw vets with the Vet Ticks shirt, and producer lady had hers
Mhm.
on and stuff. Like
Yeah.
they were all about it. They said, "We want vets."
But
here." Like,
you know why? Because fucking Dave Marquez is the fucking man. That's
is the man.
why. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why. Okay. That guy's a fucking promoter through and through. One of the
Yeah.
best. Shout
I
out
can't
to
wait
Dave
for
Marquez.
the interview. We're gonna do an interview with him. Not
Oh,
you
I
and
can't
me.
wait.
You're not gonna
Yeah,
do it,
no.
but I'm doing one with someone
No,
else.
you're gonna do it. Not
And I
me.
can't wait because I'm gonna ask him about that specifically, if that's a consistent thing he does or something that came up because of the venue, because it was super appreciated.
I still want to go to Disneyland with the man.
Oh
That
yeah,
would be the best. To walk through Disneyland through his eyes.
yes,
I'm that big of a Disney fan.
Yeah.
I mean,
makes
that would
sense.
be amazing. Seriously. Like Colt told me once that was the best time he ever had at Disney, was going with Marquez.
That's cool.
And I'm like, fucking jealous. God damn it. But I'm just saying. But no. Tony Khan, do you not like veterans? Okay. What the hell,
Yeah.
dude? And if
Tony
you buy
Khan hates vets.
WWE, all the shit they used to do for the US, I don't know if they still do for the USO. It's like, come on. Tribute to the troops. I know they don't do it anymore because you're going to Saudi and getting Saudi money, but I'm just saying.
I know
dude.
she's tweeted out at WWE before too, because they don't do anything with vet ticks, but they do if you are active duty and show up in uniform. If they have tickets, they'll give you some.
And they give them like front row too.
Yeah, whatever their good tickets are. Yeah, they'll give
Hell, if I had a uniform, I would fucking go do it.
Just wear it
in a heartbeat. Like, let's go to WrestleMania. Let's all wear like military outfits, and then maybe they'll let us in the front row.
That's called stolen valor, false valor. Like there's a law against.
Well, she's a vet. I mean,
but she's not active
we
duty.
could be cosplaying as the Village People. They don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Do you tell them you're the Village People and they give you tickets?
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, you don't know if you.
That could be a new trend. Brock Lesnar guy, the Village People.
Oh, that'd be good.
That'd be a cool trend. I'm just,
Was there anything else in AEW that you want to throw out there? This was kind of like you said, a weak show. It did pretty not good, and it didn't do very good in the ratings either. And they've been slipping there too. But I think their head's still above water for sure. Like some people are talking about it like it's the end of them, but they're still getting over 800,000. That's still good.
Okay. First of all, people, this was a big week in sports. We had a Super Bowl. Okay. We're going into a big wrestling season right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to watch everything. Okay. Yeah. If you're not giving us content that is going to be useful coming up, because I want to say that this is the most underwhelming Revolution to date.
So far,
we're only a couple weeks out, and this is kind of bullshitty right here. All we know is we're getting the Ass Boys in a 4-way with the Acclaimed and two to be determined people. We're getting an hour-long match with MJF and Bryan Danielson, which I'm like, people are boring. I don't. I don't think I've ever seen MJF wrestle more than 15 minutes. So
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen Danielson go, but this is going to be kind of weird. You know, the longest match I've ever seen MJF do was a comedy match against his father, Colt Cabana, at AAW All In Weekend. And they played the father and son catch thing in between. So it was about a half an hour because you got about 20 minutes of comedy bullshit. But I'm just, that's the longest match I've ever seen.
It's also going to be really fucking tall order. The only other time we've seen an hour-long Iron Man match was against Brett and Shawn Michaels, two of the arguably best wrestlers in the history of time.
There's one of my favorite matches of fucking Colt Cabana's of all time is an Iron Man match he did with Lethal, Atlanta, center stage. Cool. It was probably 20, I want to say 20.
Was it on TV?
16, 17? No, but it is in the Ring of Honor, the archives. And I was pissed because I had actually bought it on Fight, right? Because that match was so amazing. And then it disappeared. And then when they went to Honor Club and I was pissed, I was like, what about this shit that I bought, Fight TV? Fuck you. I bought it for that match. Yeah. That was probably like one of my favorites. And I will say there was no comedy Colt in this. This was actually Colt Cabana, the fucking wrestler, dude. And it was fucking amazing. And he's done one with Bryan Danielson too. Did he win? He almost did. Almost. But that was a great one too.
Yeah.
So he's gotten a couple. So definitely, you know. But I will say this. It's weak going into that. I think there's more excitement on NXT with the build to WrestleMania and Stand and Deliver. There's more there. Supercard of Honor, I feel is going to be an afterthought. But if they're setting up Wardlow, now I hope we're going to get Wardlow and Joe at Revolution. And then it will spill over again into Supercard of Honor. That's my hope.
I thought you were hoping to get Hobbs and Wardlow.
I don't know what's going on with that because the build-up, he's been wrestling on Dark and Elevation, and there's right now there's nothing going on to be credible with him. I really hoped for it. I don't think it's going to happen.
It's going to happen anymore. Yeah, the Book of Hobbs kind of slowed the fuck down.
Yeah, the Book of Hobbs, I think, shut. So I don't know what's going on with that. It's closed because there's all these other things. And again, it's Tony, you know, not capitalizing on an opportunity. And I mean, I can go on and I will say this publicly. Will Hobbs has blocked me because I've been very vocal in the fact that you now wrestled Brian Myers in New Jersey for WrestlePro. You did Defy, but have you come back to the Bay and wrestled? No. No. You couldn't even like do like a meet and greet or something, you know, at the the anniversary show of West Coast Pro last year. You couldn't do that. And I've been very vocal about that. Like, dude, you know, that kind of, as someone who like seen you on the come up, and these are promotions that would have never booked you when you weren't anything. What the hell? And now we're coming into, this is your home and there's no buildup for you. This is stupid. And, you know, I'm quite vocal about it. It's dumb because this should be his homecoming. This is where you crown a champ. Okay. Yeah. Because he is beloved back there, but I guess not beloved enough. So I don't know. It's one of those things. You're either one of Tony's like favorites and you do a lot of the brown nosing, or I don't know, because this is where right now, like, look at the positions that certain people are in right now. You know, if people don't like this Soraya thing, you know, that there's a lot of people back there too. Keith Lee, what is he doing? Where's Keith Lee been? Exactly. You know, Swerve. I'm like, you're in a really shitty like trio situation here. Who cares about Parker Boudreaux and then the other, you know, tattooed dude who used to be a minor league baseball player? Who cares? Yeah. No, Swerve should stand on his own because he's that damn good.
Yeah.
It's just weird. So I don't know. And we're going into the Super Bowl of wrestling coming up, where everybody's on display.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't feel like it's important to AEW. It doesn't feel like it's important with Ring of Honor. The indies, everything was done very last minute and sold all at the same time. I remember back in the day, the shit went on sale a year ago and you were excited. You didn't even know who was going to be on the card. And the first announcement wasn't until maybe 3 months prior.
Yeah.
Like right now, like when you tell me, like everyone's like, oh, Kota Ibushi is going to be on Joey Janela's Spring Break, that shit sold out. The shit sold out automatically anyway. But yeah, WrestleCon Super Show. I didn't want to buy a ticket because I didn't know who was going to be on it. And who are they like headlining? Oh, it's Ocean Spray. I'm like, hell no, you're not getting my money. No, I've given that asshole too much of my money. And I'm sad because I was under the impression with Battle in the Valley that he was wrestling in San Jose because I screwed myself out of Zack Sabre Jr. and I'm pissed. And Tanahashi with the good hair now. But we didn't know about him and Okada. But I don't get to see Zack Sabre Jr. And that hurts my heart. But whatever, because I've been craving to see Zack Sabre Jr. in live for a long time. But, you never know. I'm just hoping, fingers crossed somehow, that we get Zack Sabre Jr. in AEW during San Francisco. I will die. I'll be excited, especially if it's Dynamite or Rampage, because I actually have tickets to those events. Still don't have my Revolution one yet. Working on it. But
Six Crow says, is this their biggest pay-per-view in the company? It's not AEW's, but Ring of Honor's is Supercard of Honor, right?
Yeah, Supercard of Honor is always.
And then obviously we're on the heels of WrestleMania, which is the Super Bowl Mania. And WrestleCon is typically the biggest indie con of the year because it surrounds the WrestleMania
and the collective. No longer do we have the big one, because the other one was like Evolve Beyond Wrestling. And the other one, I can't remember. Yeah, and this year it's also sad because we're not getting with WrestleCon. Every year we would get Rev Pro, and I'm sad. I'm like, that was my British wrestling thing of the year, and I was always excited about that. And we're not getting that. PWG is not running, which I didn't think they would anyway, but it would have been nice. And then we're not getting there's a lot of people who aren't booked for WrestleCon or any of these shows that it's very sad that I'm sad they're not booked. Flip Gordon's one of them. He's not booked for anything at all. Who else? Well, I'm not going to go there about Marty, but sad that he's not doing it. He's not even doing a signing at WrestleCon. That shocks me, because I would have gone just to see Marty because I miss that guy. But he's now doing art, and I'm wondering if it's for sale. So, Marty, if you're listening, is your art for sale? I'll buy a piece because, God damn it, that is like awesome. And so I'm also sad that because usually around this time right now too, in March, right before Supercard of Honor, usually Ring of Honor does it's the anniversary show, and Tony Khan isn't even batting an eye to do one. And that's sad because the big pay-per-views were always anniversary show. Supercard of Honor was the big one. That and Final Battle, obviously. Final Battle, Death Before Dishonor, Global Wars. And yeah, that was the 5. Global Wars ended up being like a 3-nighter. But those were the 5. And it's sad because we're not going to get an anniversary show. I really wish Tony would go back to do the traditional Ring of Honor ones where we got the pay-per-view in Las Vegas for anniversary or whatever. They're too big to do Sam's Town, but they could go back to the Orleans. That was always a real fun time. But we'll see what happens, but we'll see. It's an interesting road, but this road to Revolution, It's shitty.
Yeah, I'm not
And I'm
looking
not
forward
saying
to
that
it.
because, yeah, it's just no buildup.
The other thing that's crazy too is that this weekend we have Elimination Chamber, which has a massive build. But the other thing that's kind of interesting that I wanted to bring up real briefly a half hour ago was Sasha Banks. Her big match is like in 2 days, and no one's really talking about it anymore. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not even sure where to watch it.
I think people are bummed that she's not the main event. Well,
Who's the main
people,
event?
Okada and Tanahashi.
Oh yeah, well that makes sense.
Hello, you're getting the Rainmaker and Tana with the good hair. I mean, seriously, if we're gonna go with hair, whose hair is better, Tana or Monet, whatever? Tana is gonna win every time.
Yeah,
because his hair is beautiful and real.
So we'll see, because I want to check out that match at least. We'll see where we can find it and what we can do.
Yeah, no. I actually is it a separate pay-per-view than my New Japan subscription?
I have no idea. No one's talking about it. That's what I mean. She even posted a video. She even posted a video on her Instagram where she was like crying and stuff and being overwhelmed.
What was that all about?
And I didn't even see that really circulate a bunch. It was just her being happy that she has her match coming up. That's kind of all it was. Just saying that she feels a lot of support and that tons of people are supporting her. And okay, cool. Like it was all good. But yeah, we'll see what happens with it. We'll talk about it next week, right here in the dive bar of the IWC. Guys, I think that's the last call.
Cheers.
Hey, Producer Lady here. Thanks for tuning in. Continue to support us or buy us a drink by following and putting the I in subscribe on Twitch. Or subscribe and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to us. Cheers!
I would never have a drink with